Good evening and welcome to the Town of Douglas Conservation Commission meeting for Monday, July 17th. The time is 7:04 PM. First item is meeting minutes, April 10th, 2023. Does anyone have a chance to review those? Mike?
Yeah, I did, actually.
Okay. Any edits?
No. So I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for April 10th as written.
Okay, motion's made by Mike. Second by Eric. All those in favor?
Mike Rocco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
Tracy Sharkey, aye. Okay. Next item. We have request for certificate of compliance, 274 U Street. Steve, do we have an update on that?
I think Margaret's here for the update.
Okay, if you want to come up front. Right, so this is a good as-built.
Okay, so,
This looks good. This looks like the pictures.
all right, so basically, okay, Margaret Bacon, Civil Site Engineering, and I'm requesting a certificate of compliance for Andrew Vargas for 274 U Street. And basically, the last plan that we submitted to the commission did show the maple trees along the fence line. Okay, that was a revision that was talked about at one of the NOI meetings, okay? So that was the last plan, and I went out there and did a additional survey. He does have 6 maple trees out here. He's got the shed moved forward like the commission had requested, and here's the final grading,
Where
and
they were out here.
the drainage is shown on the different plan.
Okay, all right, yeah, so the one that was submitted from November 19th, 2022 had them beyond.
And then there was further conversations
Okay,
about, during the meeting,
okay,
and talked about moving it back, and Steve suggested sending another plan showing those revisions.
okay,
And I
did you,
have-
oh, you sent that other plan?
Yeah, and I do
Okay.
have
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
right here.
all right, that's why it was just a little confusing for us, because
Yeah, I
did you
know.
only have this plan in the file?
I only have that one, so I guess based on the conversation, the plan, the as-built plan, or the plan wasn't updated to show, supposedly their conversation of moving the trees along the,
And then what's the date on that plan?
This is 11/19 with a stamp date of 11/26,
Okay, so it was revised 11/26.
based on conversations that we had at the
Okay.
meeting.
Yep, okay. 22. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense from what we saw. And everything was stable, Steve?
Yes.
It was just that what was submitted was kind of contradictory, and it didn't really give the full picture of what was out there. Eric, do you have any questions? Mike? Mark?
no.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to grant the certificate of compliance.
So moved.
Motion made by Mike,
Second.
second by Eric. All those in favor?
Karatz, aye.
Mike Rocco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
Tracy Sharkey, aye. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate that effort, and I did see your letter, and I appreciate that. Okay, updates.
We do have a couple of items that aren't on the agenda. I don't know if you want to take them now or for updates.
Sure. We can take them now.
So we have we got a call from Hayward Landing. I don't know if there's a gentleman here, or is he online? It's Tony, I think.
Who?
There is a Tony online.
Is anyone here from Hayward Landing about the dead tree removal?
Yeah.
Hi, good evening. Name and address for the record, please. So we cannot hear you.
Let's see.
That's
Can you
better.
hear me now?
Yes.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me now?
Yes. It's not Sprint, right? It's Verizon.
No.
Cable can give me a sharing ability?
Okay, and again, Tony, name and address, please, for the record.
Yeah, Tony Bernard.
I have to get Tony's information.
You can kind of go through. So
Yeah, Steve, why don't you-
call after the agenda was posted. This is Hayward Landing. I don't know if you go down Hayward Landing from North Street. I'm at the halfway down the parking lot. This is the guardrail. This river's over on this end. See if I can. It's gonna be choppy. So you have that tree right there. That is. But there's another larger one. That tree, it's in the middle of a couple trees. You can see the one to the right. I guess the limbs are falling on a few of the vehicles. That one there.
Dead ones.
We'd like to take them both down. Thinking we're going to stump them. He's got a guy coming probably sometime this week or maybe next. You can see the other one. I'll go into the woods. The sun's on it. It's right on the bank.
They're going to stump them or leave the stumps in place?
Cut them.
Yeah, top them.
Top 'em.
Okay, all right. I was going to,
Yeah, you scared me with that.
I don't even know how you
They're
would.
dead, they don't need to be.
Yeah.
This is like the width of the tree here.
Ash tree?
Ash tree, yeah. And you can kind of get an idea of how close to the stream they are. So, I said I'll have them come in requesting it for being an emergency. If you want them to file, or is this something that?
No. I think we can vote to authorize the removal of the two, there's just two dead ash trees?
Yep.
Okay, and keep the stumps in place. I'll entertain that as a
And
motion.
not have disturbance of the bank.
And no
It
bank,
can be
just,
done from the
yeah.
parking lots.
Yep, no disturbance of the bank. Is that a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Mark,
Second.
second by Mike. All those in favor?
Eric Harris, aye. Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
Tracy Sharkey, aye. That also brings up, should we allow our agent, should we authorize him to sign off on dead and dying trees that are, something similar to this, that there's imminent public property and people harm in the way? I mean, I don't want people to be waiting so long for us to review a dead or dying tree if we're always going to say, yeah, you can cut it down, just don't stump it, and don't disturb any of the dirt underneath it.
I 100% agree.
Okay,
Shouldn't have to come all the way to us.
so I would entertain a vote to authorize our conservation agent to allow for dead tree removal within harm of people and property damage.
To review and approve, correct?
Yeah, I just said to allow, but to review and approve. Yeah. Is that a good motion, Steve, to,
Thank you.
I mean, you need to move forward with these kind of things. If it's in the middle of the woods, that's, they can come, for us. But, is that a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Mark,
Second.
second by Mike. All those in favor?
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
Tracy Sharkey, aye. Thank you very much. I think that'll help the people move forward. Tony, you're all set.
No, thank you.
There's some conditions, so stump in place, do not disturb the soil on the bank, and remove from the parking lot if possible.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, have a good night.
Bye-bye.
And I don't know if you want to bring up, we had, I guess, a lot of rain last week or so, and there was an episode on Lake Shore Drive that I was asked to be brought up by the Director of Community Development and Building Inspector were reviewing it, I guess. Mr. Moran, who might be here tonight. I guess, I might be wrong, but I think a majority of all of Lake Shore is outside the jurisdiction of the commission. But I'll show the video here of what was given today. This is the concern, and I can have Mr. Moran speak of it. So I just got this 5 o'clock today. So I haven't been out there, I have no knowledge of exactly what the in-depth particulars are, but it is something that was raised and I was asked to bring it up.
Okay. Mr. Moran, did you want to come up? Name and address for the record?
Sit here?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the commission. For the record, Robert Moran, 56 Lakeshore Drive. And I'm here because there's a little bit of history with Lakeshore Drive, as you may know. And I wanted the town to be aware of a couple of things: emergency access, safety, vehicle, pedestrian access. I think the road is unsafe because of the lots that are being cleared and the development that's happening to my west, to the west of me. And also, I wanted the commission to be aware that there was sediment heading into the lake, you know, from the road across my property, as the video had showed. So just to be brief, I recognize and appreciate that you're hearing me on short notice, but I also have an environmental consultant who was on site today, who could speak to more specifically to the environmental piece. Can we do
Okay,
that?
and the source of the flow from across the street, what is the address
It's the lots on Lakeshore Drive.
that are just being cleared?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It'd be like 14 and 22. I don't know the exact numbers on the lots,
Okay.
but it's upstream, it's a long slope, and there's no apparent erosion control, stormwater management, or anything along about 1,000 feet of roadway,
Okay.
resulting in this.
Okay.
So,
And you're on the waterfront,
yeah.
so it's
It's entering the lake
Yeah.
from my property. I'm
Okay.
sort of self-reporting here, but
Yep.
I wanted the commission to be aware that this is happening.
Okay. Okay. All right. And if your consultant wants to say anything, that would be great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Bye.
For the record, Paul Knappich, I'm a wetland scientist. As Mr. Moran mentioned, I went to the site today. I viewed the video that he sent me, but also observed conditions out there that would indicate that there's been a violation of land underwater and bank. Mr. Zisk mentioned that a lot of this area, in fact, most of it is outside of the buffer zone. But where an alteration has occurred, the commission does have authority under 310 CMR 10.022D to impose corrective action on any activity that does in fact alter a resource area, even though it's outside of your jurisdiction. So there's quite a contributing watershed that includes the road, but also the lots that are recently cleared that are contributing to this issue. You know, there's a lot of unstable ground out there that I believe needs immediate attention in terms of temporary stabilization, but actually long-term control of the runoff from the roadway itself to control the watershed that contributes down to that point. You know, there's no leak-off areas or any consideration for stormwater management. There's just concentrated flow that gets.
What was your reference, 10.02D?
10.022D.
2D?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. It also sounds like a building code violation as well.
It could be.
So you're not allowed to have any water run off your site. All
There is
water's
that.
supposed to stay on your property.
Yeah, so I guess my recommendation is that the commission, in my opinion, should issue a cease and desist on the activity that's occurring there and require a notice of intent to be filed that outlines the corrective action. Again, there's maybe a short-term and long-term corrective actions that need to occur here.
How much sediment has made it to the lake? Like a square foot area?
I mean, it's hard to,
5 to 10 yards, yeah.
yeah.
Vacation, exactly.
Yeah, will you be preparing a report for
I will,
the
and I
owner?
apologize for not having something
Oh,
in
that's
writing.
okay, it's moving fast.
Yeah.
So I think before we can issue any cease and desist, especially because everything's, very close to this meeting.
Yeah.
If we have something in writing, then we're able to present that.
True, I
do
think first
that-
you should confirm that there's actually been an alteration.
Right. So I think that a letter to Steve would be helpful if you're
To the commission.
already to the commission. Well, Steve is our agent, so he represents us. He is our administrative assistant. No, just kidding. So I do think that we can send something to the developer stating that the runoff should not be leaving, and that I think that the commission is now become aware of some erosion issues directly resulting from the activity on that lot.
Right, I mean, if your report, right now, it's speculation of which lots.
Yeah,
If it's
And
the
what
road,
area,
If it's
yep.
the lots, the road's been there for a while, so is it the road, is it the lot, which lots are being cleared? If, if there's detailed information that you're submitting, then,
Well,
and then present that along with any information you might have with the town.
so the specific person that's clearing the properties?
I don't
Okay.
personally know.
Okay, all right.
I was just called by Mr.
Yep.
Moran.
Okay, I didn't know if there was
Assess the
signage or
situation.
anything out there. Okay, yeah. I mean, we can definitely take a look. Anything that you prepare for your client, you can submit to us.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to make sure, because we don't know where we're supposed to send the cease and
Understood.
desist.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, or?
I do, yes. And again, I apologize for not being more prepared. It did happen pretty quickly.
Yeah, you don't need to
Storm
apologize.
yesterday, so-
Yeah,
But
we
I'll be
appreciate
getting
you coming
something
in.
to the Commission shortly.
Yeah, because it's could be very serious. Could turn into a very serious issue.
Yeah, my fear is that it would, we get another storm like that, and it happens again. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to send, whatever you want to send, you want to email it to me, you can pass it on to the appropriate people, you can pass it on to the DEP also, so you can let them be aware of it.
Well, I would also be inclined to request the building inspector to require erosion control protections. And if we could send a memo to him requesting that, he would know if he's at the location, they have a building permit. I don't know if they have a building permit.
Well, I'm not sure where it's all coming from.
yeah, a lot of it's the road, but there's certainly off-site contribution within that watershed of the lots that were just cleared, so. But I'll provide more information.
Okay, yeah, anything that you can provide would be helpful.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Steve, do you need a motion for that? Or can you just request the building inspector to install erosion controls?
Show the movie of where it enters into the lake. I'd like everybody to see that, because that's, can you guys wait?
Hang on.
Can you guys
Oh,
hang on?
I thought they submitted it. It's from them, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Did
I
you
saw an
submit the
email
video?
tonight.
Did you, yeah, you submitted the video, right?
Yes, I did. I had emailed it earlier today.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
there was a butter also.
Couple more, hang on.
A couple other videos, yeah. There were 3 in total, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to see the one where it enters the lake. Yeah, let's see this first.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then see the other one.
Because you did ask about how much sediment was in at the lake.
There's one
that's a
very short
10
one.
yards.
The
Yeah, 10
2-second one.
yards is pretty,
See if I can bring this
a
up.
lot.
Very significant.
Yeah.
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 There's not much footage there, but it's clear what's going on.
Okay.
And
all right.
I'm not comfortable with that for many, many reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so wherever it's coming from, I think they're gonna have to remove the sediment and restore the area back to the way it was. I mean, the water never flowed this direction ever,
No,
since we issued a certificate of compliance at this
Correct, yeah.
property. What, last year or the year before?
2020.
Yeah, you walked it, Mark.
Yes.
Actually,
So,
2021, it was
I mean,
issued.
there was nothing, you've never had anything like this.
No.
Yeah. So something has been altered.
Do we
we
know
gotta-
if the new lots have one developer, or if they're in common
don't.
ownership, or if each lot's been sold? Do we know?
Not yet, we don't know, but.
No, we'll have more
find out.
information about that. I expect we'll be back in the August 7th meeting, maybe?
Yeah.
Do you want me
Yeah.
to, whatever information we get, send it to all the appropriate people? And then have them come to the August 7th meeting?
And I would like any development that's occurring, I would like them to be notified. Any activity that's happening there, I'd like them to be notified. If they have a building permit pulled,
Yeah, we should
they need to have erosion controls in place.
Yeah.
Because something's happened here. And also notify the owner of the road, Bob Cahill. So he needs to be notified.
David Cahill, yeah.
Oh, is it David?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So this is very serious, and this has to be remedied before the next rainstorm. At least erosion controls at the top of your driveway. I mean, you're all engineered, so how is the roadway should be lower than your driveway,
I'm not sure I
right?
understand that
So
question.
that the water is not entering, the water's flowing down the road.
It is mostly.
Yeah. But it's just so much water.
Yeah, it's about 1,200.
Well, you can
foot.
look at your,
Yeah.
you can look at your grades
Yeah.
from the roadway. As I'm saying, you should have a little bit, like half-inch higher than the roadway, so no road runoff would be coming into your property.
Except that it has to at some point come off the road, and it's good
Yeah, I
past
think-
your house if it's coming off the road, correct?
It is, there's a turn there.
Where the old driveway used to be? Is that correct?
I think so, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
okay. Well, thank you
again,
very much
thank
for
you
coming
on
in.
short notice, and sorry to
Yep.
take up so much time.
That's okay.
Thank
That's
you.
all right, thank you. Yeah, that's pretty substantial. Okay. Where did Steve go? Okay, I just need to wait for Steve. Okay. Next is the violation discussion, 17 Potter Road enforcement order. Did you want to come up, your consultant?
On the road? Yeah, so
Yeah.
I printed out an email.
Yep.
Everyone's got from you got it today?
Yep. So Mesa is continued or due until August 17th. So, somebody want to give us an update? So I
Thank
guess
you,
I just,
Conservation Commission. Good
Thank
seeing
you.
you. Hi, thank you.
hi,
Nice.
hi, welcome.
Welcome.
I think I just want to hear where we're at with the submittal of the restoration plan.
Yes. So I just got on board with this project on Monday, last Monday. I just got back from Crete, so they called me up. I got in here, and we immediately did add one more erosion control silt fence with S&M Farms by Wednesday. They came in very quick for us, and Mr. Bankston we moved his water line out of the way, put the new erosion, I flagged where the erosion control I felt should go, which is adjacent to the wattle that he already had out there. As soon as we put the erosion controls in, the silt fence entrenched by S&M, we brought back in we sent some photos on this, we brought back in that wattle, so now it's on the upgradient side, abutting directly. We shored up the both the wattle and the silt fence, because all the water coming off the road. I'm sorry, what did we have for a linear feet of roadway draining on that? Did you?
600 foot.
How much?
600 foot.
600 feet of a Potter Road, from the first house as you come onto Potter Road, the White House, there's a crest at that, right at that house location. 600 feet of the roadway, the dirt roadway, drains down to the river, the Mumford. When that water arcs into this property, it has apparently been historically arced into the property just upgrading of the river on the south side of the roadway. And so that's been bringing in some sediment, and we do appreciate that the town came in and put 6-inch minus yesterday or the day before? Friday, they put in 6-inch minus. We sent some photos on that. There was just a small issue with bringing in the 6-inch minus at one location further down the yard before you get to the river. They need, in all cases, we need to bevel these swales, and at one point, it was level with the road. So the rain event yesterday, which I was at 2:57, I believe, in the afternoon, right when it stopped raining, I came in to delineate some of the mean annual high water and also soils, so I could get going to say that we're flagging them now, we're doing the BVW and MHW. It was still in flood stage, obviously, the river, so it actually was flooding up into woody vegetation, so at some point, I stopped flagging MHW to let it drop a bit so I could get in there and get that woody vegetation line, which is normally a boundary of your MHW and water body or bank. But we'll get that done this week. We've contacted Existing Grades out of Rydell, I think is the name of the street in Douglas, to actually pick up the wall, the erosion controls, the mean annual high water, BVW, topo, show this zone that's been altered. The clients, the Banksons, have contacted and were going forward with a farm plan, so they just got their farm number. It does have an effect because of new agriculture, potentially. We just did a new agriculture. Yes, new agriculture under river.
You don't have an
riverfront.
exemption. You don't have an exemption.
Yeah, under riverfront regulations for new agriculture.
You don't have an
I
exemption.
just did one for a nursery for a
Right,
Corp.
you have to.
Well, we're
get
going to
us
present
the-
it all.
Yeah,
Oh, no, it's all being presented.
Yeah.
New agriculture drops the riverfront area down to 100. I'm not saying that rare species is going to accept that, but under
Yeah.
Wetland Protection Act, new agriculture is 100, not 200, and that was already going in that direction. So they just got their farm number today.
okay.
So we'll present the whole document and the regulation on the 1058 where it is. But we're fully working on pulling if you've seen it, the boulder wall will have to come, that the alteration, the replanting of the riverfront area, that's all coming forward. We would hope that the town, through my email today, will bevel their road swale so that the new dirt that they put in on Friday within the road, not the swale, that washed down. I'm not picking on anybody, we all want to look at what we have to do to make this not sediment into the river. So that has to have a swale to it when it's level and it reached peak flow. It just went across the road, if you saw the photos. And it went both over to where the little boat is in the pond, and it also went down to where I was flagging MHW right at the river. And it's taken some of those sediments from the newly placed gravel that the town put in Friday within the road itself, not the swale on the side. So if we all go out there and take a look at it, because I got there right after the storm event, before it stormed again. And so that's a smaller issue, but it's an issue to take care of, so for continuing sediment as we go forward restoring the riverfront area. And yes, thank you for rare species saying August 17th, only because I just got on this project. I do realize, reading your enforcement order, that it came out on the 17th of last month, 6/17. But I'm asking for continuance, as we did last week, through email, that it's going to take a little while for the surveyor to get out there. Existing grade, as far as the engineering aspect, is over his head, but his surveying group can get at least a base plan done. And I believe we should be able to do this in a month to get to rare species and to you.
Okay, so our next meeting is August 7th.
I heard that earlier, and I'm going to be pushing him to have something here for that date.
Okay.
But as you might be aware from other engineers and surveyors in here that come in, it's, they're over the head. But we know it's a priority to get it done, to keep both rare species and the commission and DEP satisfied, as I said in my email Friday.
So I'd also like you to coordinate among all of those departments to make sure that they're in agreement with the, so, for
What department, exactly?
endangered species.
Yes, ma'am, of course.
And
We will say that there's no short-term or long-term effect on the habitat of a rare species. We understand that, and they're going to have to be okayed on whether we create turtle nesting habitat, whether they're okay with the 200, the 100, wherever they are, we'll be talking to them over those issues to ensure that we comply with their reg under MISA.
yeah, we don't mention the species.
Well, they normally do on something that's only a special concern. I just had threatened,
Okay.
and they don't.
Okay.
So under special concern, it's normally mentioned.
Okay.
And I might say one
This is
thing.
special concern?
It's my species. I hatched 131 off my property under rare species.
Yeah, no,
collection.
it's a concern.
Special concern, right.
It's on-
Rare species,
okay,
special concern,
SC, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So it's a riverine species. but
Okay.
We'll just say that.
okay. All right, so we'll expect something August 7th
Yes, ma'am,
or before.
or before.
Steve, do you need to go out there about the swale with the highway department?
I wasn't aware of any of it.
Can we request that that gets taken care of?
Can we maybe meet with you if there's any question of the DPW and you? But it's clear cut in the field.
who
You see where it
sent,
finally hits the level spot, and then it just veers to the,
I mean, we
as you're
can.
going down to the left and through the
Go
road.
at your leisure.
Associated with Potter Road, or your?
Yeah, Potter Road, yeah. It's sediment going into
Who
our
did you,
property.
Who did you contact for the,
They came in on their own.
no, who did you contact for the highway department with the swale issue? The swale
Could
concern?
I go through my client, through the
Yeah, sure.
chairman?
Yeah, yeah.
They just showed up, is that the case?
So they came to the road to fix the washout, and the highway department manager had called me and said that the team was coming, and I said, do you have different material besides the gravel, because it just keeps on washing out? And that's when he brought in the 6-inch or less and put it in
this
to where it's starting to wash out into like a gully, pretty much.
Okay, so who did you contact
But
about the issue with the
That's what I'm
gully?
going for, through you,
Yeah.
as Robert's Rules
Yeah.
of Order.
Yeah.
Did you to my client, you didn't contact them though, right? Or did you contact them?
Yeah, we asked them to come and fix the road.
Oh, you
because
asked
it
them to
was
come to
washed
fix
out.
the washout,
Yeah.
okay. So there it is. So the clients asked DPW to look at it, but could I go again? Do they normally come in once a year or twice a year to
Yes.
repair the road? Because this is a constant problem with 600 and some odd feet. So apparently, that's how it
I
happened.
thought you mentioned that you reached out to someone saying that that swale is flat. that it
I
needs
reached
be
out to you
repaired.
and told you
Where?
this. Through my email.
The email doesn't mention it.
No. The emails,
Just say no.
I sent you emails this afternoon because I was
What
just looking-
time?
Well, I only looked at it yesterday.
5:53
No,
PM.
It would have to be before 2:30 because we left the field, so maybe 1 or something like that. We're running 75 projects, so I'm sorry if you didn't see it, but you will
Should
see
be running
them.
100.
You'll see that, I'm serious about that. You'll see that I show you photos, and I,
Okay.
oh,
So
wait a minute. We have the photos for you here.
Okay, so you notified Steve about the issue with the drainage swale, is what I'm just trying to get at. Who knows about this properly
Yes, Steve, I'm
graded
sorry.
drainage
And I know
swale?
this is last minute. I sent it just so that it wouldn't be me just talking, but I do, I'm sorry, I recall, I asked my office to print the photos.
Perfect.
So we have the new erosion controls here. God, I'm getting old, huh? 68. The first two are for what I sent last week when the client put the wattles up against the silt fence. You might have seen that from last Friday. But this second one, it just shows the road and the, and this is where it's veering off, so it's, this is where it's coming down
Can I grab
across the
some
road. but
pictures?
It's veering off the road where it hits this corner, which is this spot right here. So during the rain event, it came across here and went down.
Thank you.
And that's what you're seeing in this, and that's it actually going into the lake and then down. That's all. So I wasn't there during the peak rain event. It actually stopped for a short period of time as I watched the weather so I could come in and start flagging instead of getting a little wet. But that's the same as what I sent them.
Okay, so no one from Highway was contacted with the
No, this is
the
just-
request for the reshape of the
Just
swale?
happening.
Okay, okay, that's where I was going with that, not how it originally occurred. Okay,
I misunderstood also. I thought the highway just showed up and started fixing their road. I guess I missed
yeah.
it from the client.
okay, all right, so we'll table this until August 7th, and if you get something sooner, send it along
We'll
to
have it here
Steve.
as soon as we'll inform you as it's coming along, too.
Okay,
Okay?
all right, sounds good.
We
Thank you very
appreciate your
much.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Bye. Yes.
So next item, violation discussion, 143 Shore Road, work within buffer zone. So this was Art Allen, our consultant, took a look, and we issued a cease and desist. Is anyone here on behalf of this? Do you want to come on over a little closer? Perfect timing. So, were you able to review the memorandum from Art Allen?
Based on, so to cease and desist, which we did,
Yeah, with the second page,
to come to the meeting, I didn't see anything beyond that.
with the pictures, the photos, was a memorandum. So saying, pretty much when you use the machinery, you've altered the stream.
Oh, okay.
It was the second page
Oh, yeah.
and third page.
Yeah. Yep, I read that. Yep.
So are you proposing any repairs to what activity was done? Or,
We pretty much just brought it back to what it was.
To its
So
original.
we're not sure what to repair.
okay, so,
Flowing, nothing's going into the lake. We have, there is grass growing in there. We have straw bales. I don't know really much more to do.
okay,
Pretty much just dig out the gravel that the highway plows in every year, which we really appreciate them plowing the private road.
yeah, and name and address for the record, sorry.
143 Shore Road, Christopher Nato.
And Amy Nato.
So the activity that you performed was a jurisdictional activity that requires a permit.
We didn't realize that.
Right. So, board, and we have Katie Grace, if you want to log in. Did you just get here?
I came into the room at 7:32.
Okay, 7:32. Sorry, I just noticed you were here. So I think that the next step should be an after-the-fact filing for the activity so that it's documented now that we have a report from our consultant stating that the activity has altered pretty much an intermittent stream, and it's associated with a boarding vegetated wetland. So there's a connection there. So that's why it's jurisdictional. It's not just a country swale. It's a little bit different. So,
So I do apologize. This is something we do every year.
right.
So,
I understand.
and we have to because we get so much more water from the solar farm now. Mm-hmm. It's like bad.
That's why if there's documentation, then we're able to pivot on other issues that are occurring from abutting properties. So, board, do we have, Katie Grace, do you have any opinion, or this is 143 Shore?
I agree that we'll need an after-the-fact filing, and if the intent is to do continued maintenance every year, then we would need to see a filing for that work or some other kind of maintenance plan like we may have for other sites that require work like this within a jurisdictional area.
Okay. Like a yearly filing or something like that, or?
Well, I thought RDAs don't expire.
Oh, okay.
Not that they were, once it's, because we did that for the Beagle Club's dam.
We usually do every year, well, they do different areas of maintenance, RDAs.
Yeah, I think we have to have a paper trail. I think that the activity, that's why an abutter reported it to us. So we have to have a piece of paper saying we've permitted them, we've authorized it. So, like,
So how do we go about that?
you'd have to file either a request for determination of applicability or a notice of intent. So just like how you did on across the street, I'm sure you have the plans
No,
to,
that is
not near there.
Near or anything, is it?
It's up to you, but we need something
Just
that
something
permits,
Put draw, like a plan? Is that?
it has to be good enough that we can permit something that it's gonna have links and,
It's always been there. It's
I understand.
always been there.
I understand.
So I have this whole, my dad had this whole thing study done, so I could use those. That's what I'll do then.
You can use what you can find,
Yep,
and it just has to be documented,
that's fine.
okay? So that,
And if you say you do it every year, I would include in your permit request a management plan, like, like
Okay.
Tracy said, that says this is our intention is to
Great.
clean out the gravel that gets deposited in the bottom of this trench,
only,
and it's
yeah,
plowed.
the scope.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because what happens if we don't give a permit, then the whole entire thing is trenched out, maybe. It goes from one extreme to another. So we need to know exactly, so somebody can call Steve's office and say, hey, something's happening here. And he can say, yeah, this is what's happening. I'll send you the plan via email. And that's the end of the story.
Perfect.
So, okay, well, I appreciate you coming in. Any questions, you can contact the office and we'll help the best.
So I can get that form online or?
Yep,
Form online or I can send it, depending on which one you want.
What's the easiest
Yeah,
or
whatever's
Well,
the least in detail?
Steve can tell you later. So, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thanks, you too. Thanks for coming in. Violation discussion, Orange Street, work within buffer zone. Is anyone here on behalf of that violation? Come on up. 7. Yeah, you're going right in the hot seat. So we received some aerial photography. Steve, if you can pull that up. There were no coordinates. There was a machine in the water
You have that picture?
with a bunch of
I
sediment.
don't have the one with the machine, I just,
Just,
I don't think that any of the pictures showed a machine,
Yeah.
it showed, I'll show the,
no machine in that.
Okay.
I'll show the one, there's a couple of them below.
So I guess name and address for the record.
Frank Noel, 80 North Street, Grafton, Mass.
Okay.
I represent New Sherborne Farms.
Okay. And do you know about any of the activity happening?
Absolutely. I run the job.
Okay. All right.
Here's one.
What did you
How
do?
Go ahead.
What activity's happening? Because we don't know where this exactly, I think we kind of know where it is, but there's no,
It's an old
Location.
logging road that Jeeps and four-wheelers use, and motorcycles and dirt bikes. And I cannot stop that. No machine has gone through that crossing.
okay,
Not since I've been here, since May.
okay.
And how did this drone take these pictures on private property?
I think that, I don't really know drone rules, but.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
you
people
can't.
take.
You can't.
Okay,
I've
people
looked
take
it up.
pictures, okay. I don't
And they
know.
can't trespass, it's posted every 50 feet, which is fine, but we'll get in discovery who it was. We're gonna go after it.
Okay. All right, so you know that any jurisdictional activity has to come before the board first?
Yes,
And that
yes.
there is no
We're
forest
not
cutting
doing
plan?
anything on that side.
Okay,
And for those dates that whoever it is, that's not a man, but The machine was on the other side of Orange doing perk tests, and it was parked at the Connexes from the 16th to the 22nd, so it wasn't even near that on the 23rd and 24th, so I don't know what pipe he's smoking, but no
Okay.
machine's been over there.
Yeah, we don't need to hypothesize.
No, I understand that, but it's just frustrating that you try to do the right thing. I built over 5,000 homes and 60 subdivisions, never had a notice of, never had a violation from DEP, never had an enforcement order. And for somebody just to anonymously come out of the sky, it's just wrong.
Yes. So, okay, I appreciate you coming in. I really don't have any other evidence or anything that I think we need to address. There's no, it's an old logging road. It somehow was broken.
From what I understand, that Kimberly said that the old logging road, that they should have taken those logs out. I guess they evidently didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
And for someone to say that oil got into wetlands from a machine, I mean, it's just ludicrous. It's just ludicrous. Do they know the difference between mud on grass and wetlands, oil than oil?
Well, I mean, if you're going to do anything jurisdictional, you have to come to us first.
Oh, yep, we will be filing.
Eric, anything? Mike? Mark?
When did the logging occur?
A long time ago. I know the permit ran out in the 18th.
Yeah.
2018, but I think that logging road's been there 30, 40 years. They're all over the whole
And
property.
was your company, New Sherburne, were you responsible for the logging, or?
No, that was the Swartz.
Yeah, they're a new owner.
Yeah, we bought it in 2021.
Okay, thank you.
Steve, anything?
No.
Katie Grace, you have anything to add?
No comment, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking. There was no other pictures, right, Steve?
I don't think so. We received a complaint.
Mm-hmm.
Distributed. DEP, I think you talked to the DEP.
Yes, yep.
Yeah. Was.
And like I said, I told her I can't control Jeeps, four-wheelers, and dirt bikes going through
They
there.
usually give the benefit of the doubt. It was a little ambiguous, so the violation notice was what really just, we got this potential.
Right, yep.
Talk to the commission, and that's what he's doing.
Okay. All right. Word. I think we're looked
We
at
good?
this hard enough. Yes, I
Take
think
it
we're
off the
good.
hot seat?
Yeah. Yes, for now. Thank you very much.
We'll be back.
Okay. Next item, request for extension, 69 Woodland Road.
Is anyone here for that?
Name and address, please.
Yes, my name is, for the record, Eliza Silva, 69 Woodland Road.
Okay. And you're requesting how many year extension?
That's going to be for the COVID, I believe, as an extension, request for September 17th, 2023.
You are. You're lying. You're lying.
Never seen one.
Okay, what was the date? You passed this down for
September
a second.
17th, 2024.
2024 is when the permit's expiring, so it's 1, 2, or 3 years.
I believe they said 3 years.
Okay, your request is for 3 years?
No, that's going to be for the COVID thing, the pandemic tolerant period. The permit expired June 5th, 2023. That was expired.
Okay.
Pass it to me, pass it to you. No idea.
Yeah. 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 Yes.
Yeah, so.
I'm unclear on the request. So it says
So
the
we
order
were-
of conditions was issued 1/3/2022. He's saying that it's expired
Why wasn't amended?
2024.
The order of conditions expired on June 5th, 2023. It was an amended notice of intent that came in. So when you amend the plan, when you amend the notice of intent, you still have to go by the original. A permit came in through the building department, so two things. One, the plan was inaccurate. You weren't using the amended plan.
Okay.
So I put that in the online database that they had the wrong plan, the whole house was flipped.
Mm-hmm.
And then two, I noticed that the order of conditions technically expired. There is a tolling period. I want to let him know there's a tolling period. That he should probably request a certificate of compliance and use the correct plan that's on the amended.
Why would he request a certificate of compliance?
I mean, an extension.
Oh, okay. Okay. So,
And to give documentation that he's aware that, I don't think they were aware, it was a red flag went off that they asked for a building permit, and they might not be aware that his permit would have expired if there wasn't a tolling period.
okay.
And then two, to know that it's going to expire coming up, and to ask if you should ask for an extension before that happens.
Okay, so it was June, what, 2023?
June 5th, 2020.
Okay.
June 5th, 2023 was the original expiration.
So, any objection to extending for 3 years from the original expiration date? So June 5th, 2026. I'll entertain a motion to grant the extension.
So moved.
Motion made by Mark,
Second.
second by Mike. All is in favor?
Eric Kurtz, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangum, aye.
Katie Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can I just clarify, he's aware
Thank you so much.
about the plan?
Hold on one second, please. Could you please confirm that you are going to use the amended order of conditions plan? Because what was submitted in the portal is the original plan. You have to use the amended.
We don't have the amended plans in hand.
You need to find them. You cannot use the old ones. The old ones are no good.
I have the one that I brought in, because we just brought the lot. We just bought the lot.
Yeah.
From the new owner of the property. So we are going to be using the set of plans that are submitted to the building department.
You cannot use them. They're invalid. You cannot use them. Yes, and your attorney should have seen an amended order of conditions recorded at the Registry of Deeds with the plan date on it. We have a copy of the amended plan here in the office.
Okay, I will stop by.
Okay.
I had a detailed explanation in the portal, exactly what the date of the amended plan is.
And there is an explanation in the portal of the plan date that is the approved plan.
Because the whole house flipped.
The whole house flipped.
The
It
driveway.
was mirror imaged. So you've got to use the amended for that plan date that you see in the portal, okay?
Okay, I will come by to the to the building department. I'm going to talk to Ken about it.
Okay,
I'll find out the new set of plans.
okay, very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you. Okay, bye-bye.
it. Bye-bye.
Good luck.
That was just 3 years? 6
Yes.
6?
Yep, June 5th, 2026. Request for certificate of compliance, 428 Northeast Main Street.
You know, just go back to the updates. I think we probably skipped an update, because I know there's people here looking for the Wallen Lake solar, probably. I see a couple people.
Wow, Lake Solar?
I mean,
Oak?
45 Oak
Oak Street.
Okay, all right. All right.
I think their name is Wallen Lake.
No, it's not.
Oh, is it White Reservoir? I mean, White Reservoir.
Okay. What do you have for us? Name and address.
I'm here representing Jason Tavernier for requesting a certificate of compliance for a septic repair we did at 428.
Order of conditions.
Okay, mute yourself, please, everyone.
428 Northeast Main Street.
Uh-huh.
So basically, the system was installed probably about a month ago. The site's stable, and actually everything's installed as designed.
Oh, wow, great. Okay, board, any questions? Steve?
None. I think I sent everybody a link to try. I can bring it up if you need it.
No, I don't need it.
Everything's pretty well established.
Nice and green.
Good. I'll entertain a motion to grant the certificate of compliance for 428 Northeast Main Street.
So moved.
Motion made by Mark,
Second.
second by Eric. All those in favor?
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangum, aye.
Katie Dudley, aye.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
All set. I don't see,
What's that? No, but I think there's some people from Oak Street. No. I don't know if you want me to give a quick update.
sure. Okay, back up to number 4, updates. BWC Whiten Reservoir, 45 Oak Street. What do you have for us?
Yeah, so I know our consultant and the contractor's consultant's not here, but there was a lot of runoff. There's been a lot of, just to update the commission, I think you've been on his emails, there's Matt Benoit, the community development director, has been taking one of the leads on this. We went out last Wednesday, maybe the heavy rain event we had right in the middle of the
storm.
The storm, right in the middle of it. There was a lot of runoff, leaving the site, skipping across Oak Street, entering onto the abutting property. So that was witnessed by myself, Matt Benoit, and also the planning board has a consultant. Their consultant was there at the time. I forget the company's name. Ward, is it Hayward Ward? Halsey Ward?
I think that sounds
Yeah, so he was there,
correct.
he did a detailed report. I think that was submitted to the planning board. I forwarded that to the Conservation Commission. I think they're heavily out there trying to rectify whatever issues they have out there regarding runoff leaving the site. I know the Community Development Department Director had a meeting with the solar farm people. Art Allen was out there. He hasn't given an official report, but his first inclination is that some of the resource areas, the stormwater management hasn't really impacted the wetlands on the site and stuff. It seems to be more of a planning board runoff issue.
Under that permit, the special permit, and site plan approval.
Right, and they're looking at
Yep.
drainage and stuff like that. So
Okay.
it is a concern. Conservation is involved. Art's out there. Building inspector's involved. Matt Benoit and planning board is involved. I think they're looking at, they've had meetings and they're evaluating the situation. So.
Okay. All right. Is anyone here on behalf of this update item, discussion item? We don't really have much. Yes. Shirley, you want to come up?
Shirley, I'm going to stay right here.
Okay.
Shirley Mazinski, 60 Oak Street, and not only is it in the southern part of that roadway and the entrance, but it is now seeping from the field where the retention and everything is supposed to be, I believe. It's now seeping into the road and going down past this gentleman's driveway into some of the storm drainage, which eventually crosses over into my fields, but that's been there for some time. But this also is running further down the street. And if this is ever going to continue through the winter, yes, I know it's heavy rain, but yes, we all know climate change is here, whether we like it or not. And there's more and more water and different changes. So that road is ice to begin with. in the winter. And the highway spends a lot of time, and the town spends money keeping that road safe. So it's not only going out the entranceway, it's seeping off the field and alongside the road.
Okay.
And as far as at the entrance, yes, a berm was put in. The rains came, there's a pool of water on the inside of the berm and on the outside. And then it goes to that gentleman's driveway, and you've heard the story.
Yeah,
Planning board.
it's pretty bad. So I think maybe by the next meeting, we can both have, I think they're evaluating it. The engineers are out there, you know. it happened
Planning board is
Wednesday.
this Thursday.
What's that?
Planning board is this Thursday.
Yeah, so I think planning board probably will have a more of a detailed analysis, and we certainly can have them come and give the commission an update after on the 7th, too. They probably have more.
Yeah, a consultant should be here to tell us what's happening. I'm surprised he's not here, giving an update. Okay, thank you. Yes, name and address? That's okay. Name and address?
How you doing? I'm John Teeter. I live at 50 Oak Street. I have the fortunate pleasure of being in the house directly across the street. I have pictures on pictures. This isn't just when it's heavy rain. I mean, we've been through 2021 is the highest record of rainfall in Worcester so far. We haven't even surpassed that yet. I'm going to tell you that I spend my free time cleaning my driveway. After every repair is made, after all of this stuff, I'm telling you that it's causing thousands of dollars of damage to my driveway, my gravel driveway. I have a video showing you, I don't need a dye test. Even after it stopped raining, it's still running down the road as we speak. It hasn't rained in a couple of days. After it stopped, the berm, the water doesn't come over the berm. It's seeping through the asphalt in front of the berm and causing a sheet of water to come across the road. I have spoken with the engineers that represent the town and argued with this person that it's not coming from up the road. I've seen snow runoff. This has been not as of recent with the heavy rain, but since the inception of removing that stone wall and the trees, and I've been really patient, okay? And I'm spending lots of time. My 4th of July weekend, I dug a 200-foot trench with my skid steer to put a drain in. I had a 6-yard pile of stone dropped at the end of my driveway to try to mitigate some of the water. It's washing the asphalt off my driveway. It's undermining my retaining wall between my upper and lower driveway. And I'm getting, you know, people from the town saying, I'm going to look into this and get back to you. The only person that's really been really good is Mr. Zisk. Matt Benoit is on top of this. I'm still waiting to hear back from Ken, the building inspector, after he was going to look into what was reported, a sediment issue. I got a picture on my phone right now. It's moving 1.5 inch rocks off the side of my driveway that I pack with a gas compactor. I did it Saturday. I believe that the berm was going to take care of the problem, so I spent 4 hours power washing a 200-foot driveway to get all the dirt, sediment, and rocks off, repack it, and get ready thinking that we were beyond this. The last storm that went by, if I showed you a picture, it's worse than it's ever been. It just, it's like, and I get it, we were under flash flood warning, but what am I gonna do when it frost heaves the driveway? The driveway's a bear to get up. We have four-wheel drive. Even with four-wheel drive, if somebody comes down the road and I get stuck at the top of the driveway, it's 30 minutes for me to continue to get out because it's so steep or risk backing down. I really need something other than we're gonna look into it and get there, because there's been motion as far as trying to prevent the water coming down from there. I have a video that it misses. There's a retaining pond on the right side that has a pipe that goes across into the retention pond that's by this gentleman's house. It's going around that, in between the silt barrier, through trash, coming out through the mud, and that's where it's seeping. So whatever's in place isn't really functioning the way that it's supposed to. And once that ground gets saturated, it's all clay underneath. It has nowhere to go. They can dump stone after stone after stone. It's just gonna keep coming. So I'm really concerned, and I'm really looking for some assistance from somebody. And I wanted to come here and kind of hear what the plan was, but I just wanted to at least tell you where I stand,
Okay.
so you guys can hear what's happening.
Thank you, thank you. Where's the closest jurisdictional area to this site, to the runoff?
Well, it's up on the hillside.
It was just on the hillside,
Yeah,
right?
the pond, the stormwater's under the commission's part of the notice of intent.
Okay.
Order conditions, and it's part of the site plan review done by
Okay.
town planning board.
I'm almost inclined to send an informal violation notice to cease any water flow off the site. They have to do something more aggressive if it's still happening. I know Jeff Murphy had come in. Was he here, or was it planning board? Was he here on
He was here the
the
last
screen?
meeting. Yeah,
Yeah,
they put the
and he
barn-
said everything was moving forward, and they did this, and they did that.
He was on vacation last week, so I'm not sure.
So I'm more inclined to require them to come to the next meeting.
Yeah, I'm gonna,
And then if there's going to be a significant storm event, to have, I don't
would
know,
recommend-
sandbags or something. I know that there's pooling on the other side of the berm, and now seems like it's seeping underneath. They just laid the berm on top.
well, hopefully they give the planning board an update, and then we can certainly have everybody show up, attend for the next 2 weeks, August 7th.
Yeah, I think we just need to get their attention. I think nothing's happening.
Well, I think I think community development
I really like to send them a notice.
Okay.
It's not good enough.
May I address the chair?
Yeah.
If you'd like, I tried to send a video to the town hall today. For whatever reason, it's too long, but
Yeah.
it's a video to show you what I'm talking about, where the water is actually missing, but
Yeah.
also the trench that the town has dug or to clean the culvert. It's now moving silt into that as well. It's just, I get it, but it's just, I mean, at some point I can share this, I just couldn't.
Yeah, I think there's eyewitness to the water flow, and the velocity of that flow is just too much coming off that hill.
And I did have sandbags at the end of my driveway. They were just what I could buy at Home Depot.
Yeah.
They were not cheap.
Yeah,
The mailman ran them over and caused the stuff inside it to come out and made a bigger mess, so I cleaned it up. You understand? I know it's kind of comical, but
not for you, I'm sure.
I've done everything I can within ability without going crazy to try and prevent the damage to my property.
Yeah.
And then at what point does it become, I mean, I work for Eversource, so I work 14 hours today. So at the end of the day, my driveway's a mess, I gotta go clean it up again. But I don't know what else to do. And you know, I appreciate, like I said, I know that Mr. Zisk was there and everybody showed up. I've been dealing with this for 2 months.
And also, if the solar farm site is causing damage, then they should be paying for repairs. So we had the other solar farm repair on Shore Road, so the same can apply to you. And I believe that there's some bonding through planning board for breaches or inefficiencies in the stormwater that was approved and designed and approved. So I would like, board, what's your opinion?
If they are, that's correct. But at the last meeting, we saw video of, I believe it's your site, your land and your driveway, showing water coming down the road and entering his property, but not coming across the street and entering his
Well,
property.
the problem with that is that 20 minutes after it rains, it changes. But I can assure you, I have pictures of it coming across the road, over the berm. We started out with an asphalt piece with fabric underneath it. Then we cut it. They cut it with a saw and then put a berm with a kind of like a stalagmite down into the tar. And that's not stopping. It's coming out and around. Now, I will say...
Well, I'm not disagreeing that if it is coming from across the street.
Right, but when Ms. Mazursky says it's leaking down the road, it's downhill. The house before mine it washed out the corner of the driveway and goes down his driveway into the woods long before it even hits the edge of my property line. This is the conversation we have where somebody discusses and says it's sediment, and then I send a picture of rocks this big, then it's not coming down the road. And to the point where one of the engineers was speaking with my wife because I was at work, and she's like, we're telling you it's coming here. And fortunately, Mr. Zisk was there during the storm, so there was no arguing with that. But this has been continuing. It was really bad this weekend, but Wednesday was bad. But every time it rains, once that ground is saturated with water, what's it gonna do with snowfall and everything else? That hill is brutal as it is, but it's running down by this gentleman's house as we speak, and it hasn't rained. It was 90 degrees today. So there's water running down the hill. So it's not a question of, that wasn't there before. We have rain, we have a little bit of water on the puddle. If it was torrential rains, I'd get a little bit of pea stone or something that was very manageable with a leaf blower. This is, if I had to guess, 10,000 times worse, right? And so I get it, I just...
So I can have Art and consultants all show up at the next meeting, give it details.
I would like to issue a violation. I don't know if that's my opinion. It sounds like this has gone on for too long. I'd like to issue an...
I'm inclined to agree with Tracy that they at least need a notice, if not a violation. And I would also, I know hindsight's 20/20, but Eric and I had talked about with some of the Blackstone Watershed that our stormwater management requirements should be more stringent to account for the changes in climate. I think that a lot of our projects are potentially at risk because they don't use more stringent stormwater management calculations, and that we should long-term work to get more stringent stormwater calculations in place for this town to account for the fact that we have more stormwater than we used to. But yes, in the near term, I agree with Tracy.
Yep, that stormwater bylaw hasn't passed yet, so can't do that, but...
I recommend that because Ecotech is overseeing it on behalf, they're the reviewing consultant that's reviewing the site on a weekly basis, that we have them issue the...
Why?
Because they're the ones who have control of monitoring the site.
On behalf of the commission?
Yeah.
When is this going to be sent out? When would this be sent out?
What do you want? It depends on what kind of violation.
I want some, maybe in violation. I want an informal violation issued. I want any rain event, not even a significant rain event. I want the site to be monitored by a stormwater, do they call it coordinator? There's someone on the plans that is required if there's issues. I mean, I'm hearing that there's issues. I don't know why we couldn't say that there's a maybe in violation. We have an order of conditions on the property.
We already know there was violation because they were already out there checking things out.
Right, just because we didn't say, yeah, just because we didn't say that there's a violation, I mean, I guess we could request our consultant to send a violation notice. I don't even know if they have the authority to send a violation notice.
No, that should come from you. It has come from you on other violation notices, so.
So, I mean, I would do something similar. The requested action is to attend the meeting, and in the meantime, any rain event shall have an on-site stormwater management supervisor. I forget what the person's called. I know we have a wetland scientist when they do the replication, so I don't see why we can't have someone there saying either, yeah, the water's coming from our site, so we make sure that we don't let it damage everybody on the street, or it's not coming off our site, right? Why wouldn't they want to know? And you can list like the the, anything that you've got for correspondences.
Right.
Sorry, I mean, that's the quickest way. I think
Right.
that we're hearing that it's causing property damage at this point.
We have 4 people here
I
with
agree.
complaints. I think we have to take action.
Yeah.
So I would agree with you 100% that we need to issue a violation or, at least, you know, and have them come in and talk to us about it. And, you know, make sure that they're monitoring it and take care of things if there's another rain event between now and when they're here before us again.
Yeah.
So if you need that as a motion, that's my motion.
Motion made by Mark. Second by Eric. All those in favor?
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
KG Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming in. You can send that along if you want, but I don't think it's necessary
I'm
yet.
not really technical. My
That's
kids
okay.
probably
It's
get it.
probably too big.
It is.
It's too big.
You know, I appreciate it, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next, new business, notice of intent, 125 Ledgestone Road. Do you have, Steve, do you have my folders?
Folder?
Yeah, so my notices and a signature folder. Don't be mad at me.
Don't be about the emergency certificate.
Yeah, I'll go back to that. Nobody's here for that, right? Okay. Town of Douglas Conservation Commission, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. Pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, the Town of Douglas Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on July 17th at 7 PM for a notice of intent filed by Megan Blonias, located at 125 Ledgestone Drive, for work to be done pursuant to the Town of Douglas Wetland Bylaw and the Wetland Protection Act, Mass General Law 131, Section 40. The proposed work involves reconstruction of a single-family dwelling, driveway, septic system, and associated utilities. Public participation will be available by attending the meeting at the Town of Douglas Municipal Center, located at 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass, or pursuant to Governor Baker's June 16, 2021 order suspending certain provisions of open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18. The public may participate in this meeting via remote participation. A website for the meeting will be provided on the conservation agenda posted on the town's website at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Copies of the notice may be examined electronically by contacting Conservation Commission, 508-476-4000, extension 20577. Okay. All right, welcome. Do you have a DEP number?
No.
Okay.
This afternoon.
All right.
My name is Jude Garvin. I'm with OHI Engineering. I represent Megan and Jake Polonier. They couldn't make it tonight. They're here on Zoom.
Okay, great.
Very eager to attend.
Great.
So what we have here is we have it's a little over an acre parcel on Lake Manchog. There's an existing structure, house, studio with a deck associated with it. And then there's an outhouse slash, it's just an outhouse. There's a septic system in this area that looks like a lagoon. It's below the, or like a cesspool type of system. It's below, it's in the groundwater, so it's technically failed. So we have an existing well here that serves the property currently, and we have electrical that comes in. This gray area here is the gravel area that's on the site. This light green area is all the lawn and area where they have can have activities. The green area here is the bushes and trees that are along the bank of Lake Manchog. And then there's about a 30-foot cliff that runs along. It's a straight ledge face that runs along this whole side. And this is all permanently forested up here. So we can't push the house back any further because there's just literally no room. We're pushing the house back. The proposal is to come in and take down the existing structures, take out the existing shed that's over here that's acting as the outhouse, and eliminate the septic system that's currently in use. The proposal is to slide the house back within the current setbacks of zoning. We are before the ZBA next week to go to them for a special permit to be able to tear down the structure that's that's in non-compliance, and we're moving it out of that area and into the setbacks to make it within the structure in compliance. The reason for the special permit is because we access the site through a right-of-way that comes down here, so there isn't technically any frontage, and the site is 1.1 acres. So we're not going in for any structural variances, we're going in for a special permit to allow the houses to be torn down and a new structure be put up. It's going to be a new 3-bedroom septic system. It's going to have a impervious barrier that wraps around the outside of it to limit the fill that comes down into the lawn area. There's one tree that's being proposed to be taken out, and it's this tree here. It's a scraggly pine that's half dead and fallen down, so we decided to take that out. The rest of them we're proposing to not even touch.
It's a big tree.
Yep. And we're going to add this driveway that comes in for the house, and there's some stairs to come down the walkway to get in. The slab elevation is the floor elevation so it's a walk-in basement. The first floor will be elevated up. That's just to take advantage so we don't have to dig so far down and do the excavations for the foundations down into potentially ledge or groundwater.
So it's 3 stories?
So there'll be a turnaround when we come out of the garage to back out and to exit the garage.
We'll just hold comments till he's finished. Thank you. And what's the existing elevation of the house?
The existing elevation?
Yeah.
It's on the ground, falling in.
Okay, so what?
It's a 1-story.
What is it? So we've got the top.
I'm looking, is there a lot of grading coming in on that driveway and fill?
Here, yep.
Yes.
It would have been, it's the same amount of fill as if you just did the upgrade for a septic system. Because the system has to come up and get out of the groundwater.
And how many bedrooms is the existing home?
The existing home is a studio, there's no record on file, so we went around and around with Title V.
Yeah, for the tight tank.
No tight tank. No tight tank. We found soil.
Yeah.
Where's the septic
We
system?
have the approved septic
Under the
systems already
under the
approved.
driveway.
Where is it?
Okay.
What's that?
Where is the septic system?
It's right here. There's 2 trenches.
Under the
Tank's
driveway.
here, and then it pumps up to a D-box outside the driveway, and there's 2 3-foot wide trenches.
So are you saying that the grading's already been done?
No.
But that's part of the septic plan?
The grades won't change from here back because this is going to be set, the basement's set at grade now. This walkway is going to be at grade.
Okay.
So the only fill, there's a slight retaining wall right here. So that fill to hold up the septic, even if we just upgrade the septic, would be here. And I put in that impervious barrier to limit the amount of fill to come back. And I didn't want to grade into this area because it's so shallow and there's a couple of trees and shrubs and pines. So there's this low retaining wall right here to limit the grade on that side also.
So you're saying there's fill occurring to within, what, 10 feet of the lake edge? The
Right
lake
here,
bank?
yeah. Yes.
So the.
That's all going to propose to go back grass. I mean, it's flat now and there's chairs and they have the yard areas out here. They understand they're going to be losing that and it's going to slope down and then be grassed.
You want to see the video?
Yeah.
Grass to grass.
And where do I see the closest measurement on the plan? The 10 foot. So I see a 15.2 foot measurement.
I don't have a dimension for the grading.
Okay.
I know I didn't put it.
Yeah, we need that. And where's the well?
The well's up in the top center.
You have a slurry pit on that? Oh, you're
Already
not,
done.
oh, you're not doing it, okay. And then the stockpiling, we're gonna need erosion controls.
Erosion's on there. That's big.
Extra.
It's very busy, I know.
Extra
That's why I
erosion.
simplified it down
Yeah.
to the other ones, because, yeah, there's erosion control on here. We can put some stockpiles over here. I don't really anticipate much being stockpiles, because we're gonna come in and dig it and start adding.
Oh, no, I'm saying like stockpiling, erosion control, so.
Oh, right, for extra?
Yeah, just because, I mean, how do you,
That's the old one.
logistically, how do you ensure that you're not gonna end up in the water on that closest, I mean, it looks closer than 10 feet, it looks, nah,
It's pretty close. It goes right to the top of the
15,
bank.
7.
coming down.
No, it looks like, if I cut 15 in half,
Yep.
you're at 7.5. You look like about 4 feet on that bottom corner where the bench, near the benchmark for that 26-inch pine. That erosion control to the bank looks like 4 feet. And you have what for erosion control?
Wattles.
Okay.
There is a footpath,
You don't think, I'm sorry, sir, we'll have to wait, the board is looking at the plan first.
What is the driveway proposed to be?
Pavement.
So what is the increased in impervious surface on the site over what's there now?
It's a net. The gravel area and the buildings wash out the new driveway in the house.
I don't understand by what's a net. What you mean by that?
So there's more
It's equal.
driveway right now, there's more gravel driveway that's impervious. They're existing, that we're proposing to tear it up, we're proposing to take out all the structures. So both of those added together are the same as what we're proposing.
You're claiming that the current gravel is impervious?
Go up, it washes right across the top of it.
Yeah, I would agree, compacted over time.
It's tall.
And so you're calculating the house and the roof in that impervious surface, correct?
Correct.
So on my plan,
So much so
I don't,
that earlier tonight, I was looking at it and was able to add this turnout here for them and take out all the gravel that's around here. And then this is gonna, we added this in and it came within 10 square feet. Yeah, there you go.
so I don't have on my plan like the driveway.
It's
It's
busy.
dots,
No, it's
little dots.
busy and you're reading in 1117, so if you could find it, I would be. It's right there.
Okay. And this is where I'm looking right here.
I know what you're looking.
That's very close for
Pull
just
the
using
retaining wall.
wattles.
I could make we could do either two things. We could do some silt fence / wattles, or we could make the wall a little higher so we don't have to come as close to the
I don't want to
pond.
redesign it. It's just, I think it's pretty close if there's an alternative, a safe alternative. Steve?
I did a little bit of erosion control type of, tried to get some of the water so it just doesn't come off of this slope and go straight down into it. So from here in the driveway, from the garage here, this all flows down to this point and is cross slope. And I have a rip-rap swale that goes down. There's an
Okay.
existing stairway there that we can take out. And it's a good spot to have the riprap go down and control the runoff instead of it just coming, trying to sheet off all this part. So that's all contained.
Where's the runoff for the rest of the driveway?
It's all coming through the grass.
Okay. And then you're showing us there, it's going to be all grass. So from the driveway, is that and it looks like it's big, but it's not. The distance from the driveway, the edge of driveway to the lake, over there. Yeah, no, at the beginning part.
Here.
Yes.
I didn't label the driveway, I labeled the septic.
Oh, did you give me a number? No?
No,
Not yet?
I could scale it off, but I just said I didn't. It's about,
Less than 20 feet?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
15 feet.
Okay, all right. So, anything back from Natural Heritage? Anything back from Natural Heritage?
What?
Anything? Any species? Okay, there's no layer?
They're
Okay.
not in
Okay.
species.
Okay. Steve?
Yeah, well, when I was out on site, I was surprised that it looks like the driveway's going over the septic system, and the amount of fill that was generated. Actually, I was out there with the owner. I was in it, between that, and then, is there a garage under, or is there a garage?
Garage, surface garage, yeah.
Surface, so that, the surface of the garage is elevated? So what's underneath the garage?
Fill.
Oh, you're raising the whole garage area?
This area here, yeah.
And so the concern I had is during construction, one, clearing of trees. They looked like there's some large pine trees and trees along the edge of the, which were in the video. And then the amount of fill that you're using and controlling the washout of the fill during construction before everything's stabilized. And there's no thought about retaining walls or anything usually for pushing the grading away from the lake?
I didn't think of retaining walls to push the grading away from the lake because it's lawn now. You're changing it from lawn to lawn, you're just changing the slope on it.
What do you have for a slope?
It's a significant slope.
2 to 1?
But,
2 to 1? What's
3 to
yours?
1.
3 to 1.
You're allowed to drive over the septic?
Absolutely. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
Tight.
And there's no tree clearing?
Just that one scrub pine that's down here. The rest of the stuff along the shore, we're not touching. And this is all along the ledge, is just sucker growth that's growing out of the ledge all over the place, but that's.
And both structures are coming down?
Yes.
I don't know, is it even possible if you can perk a site to not utilize the perk and go with a tight tank? Because I'm really concerned about the amount of fill and slopes that are being created, pushing the water towards the.
If you can have a
lake bed.
compliant septic system, you cannot have a tight tank.
And it's been approved. So that ship has sailed. So logistically, do you have a construction sequence yet
I will.
included? I think I'm very concerned with logistically, how is this going to be built?
Right.
Do you know?
It seems very straightforward.
Okay,
You
okay.
dig footings, you pour the foundation.
No, I don't care about the house. I don't,
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Is the septic the-
We build mounted septic systems everywhere.
Yeah,
That
but
doesn't mean
is the septic the first thing or the last thing you're doing?
the last.
Well, it'd be nice to have that in writing.
so he said he's gonna, he's gonna
Right?
prepare
But
one.
you're concerned about it. You just want to know
Well,
the order of
concern-
it, or you're
The concern is
concerned?
the concern would be during, it's not the proposal or the as-built, it's in between.
Yeah.
And if that's 2 months between the as-built, or the proposal and the as-built, or is it 2 years? And if it's 2 or 3 years, then you're gonna have a lot of open soil, a lot of open ground, a lot of erosion. So how do you control the site?
You're assuming it's taking 2 years. When we
Well, I'm
get
not
the
saying-
permit,
we're not-
We're not
gonna
assuming,
We're not
we're
assuming,
saying that
I'm
we
just
have to
saying-
look at things from a perspective that it might take 2 years. We don't know.
Okay, so I'll come up with a plan.
Yeah, back to my original request, if we could get a construction sequence. And then if you could label the distances, so,
I'm gonna clear up the plan too.
grading, limits of grading to the edge, and then the driveway to the edge, to the bank.
Is it labeled paved? Is it paved driveway?
It's labeled paved.
It is?
Yes, proposed by two.
You
Where
always
is-
ask me, I'm being sure I put it on.
Oh, okay.
You just can't see it.
Yeah,
Up near the
well,
garage.
I usually have glasses
It's
on.
right next
too.
to the garage.
Oh, I colored it in. So I could see where the driveway was.
Took my word.
And I would
Okay.
probably
Yes.
silt fence along with wattles.
Yes, so we're gonna have to
I'm
beef
picking
that
up,
up.
yeah.
Okay.
You're
And if there is any tweaking that you can do to reduce the distances, I would be open to exploring that, like you had mentioned. Yeah, that's gonna be existing, that's existing, no new well.
Yes, I mean, I personally would like a chance to look at this plan a little bit more and provide some comments. And I would like to see the site.
And then machine storage overnight, there's really no location.
Right, we'll have to wrap it, something. Not wrap the machine, like put a thing around it.
Wattles, yeah.
Silk
Okay.
fence,
Yeah.
walls, some kind of.
Yeah, some kind of designated area for the machinery, just in case.
We're not gonna shrink wrap it every night.
Or move it into the forest,
Yeah.
100 feet away.
Jake's had to call into National Grid to see what we're gonna do. This is absolutely an issue. I don't know how we're gonna move them or go underground, or there's a call into them, and they come out and they tell you what they're gonna do.
Okay, if you find out before, I would probably place, either do either or.
Well, I think they're gonna do something. You're not gonna have-
Location.
There's poles that go right through the site, right?
Right along the wall.
Yeah.
So to avoid, I would probably show or make a note for utility poles, not determined yet, so that we can grant the
Yeah.
permission. And they're shown on the plan because somebody did forget to do that and Ken didn't allow them to have a permit or do the work because they weren't shown on the conservation plan. Okay, board, anything else?
I noticed it says a 36-inch pine, is that going to stay as well? And is the pine you're taking down, does it have any shading of the shore?
It's like a scraggle pine, it doesn't have much to it.
You gonna trim any, you wanna trim any of the pine?
Not that we're aware of. I don't think we need to do any trimming. They want to leave the edges most natural as possible.
Katie Grace, any comments? Questions?
Along the same line of questioning that Eric had, if there's any shade provided by that pine, we would request a planting of a replacement tree in that space.
Mark, hitting your mic with the plan. Steve, can you pull up the plan online?
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay. And this is a public hearing. Anyone in the audience have any questions or concerns? And name and address, please.
Miles Hibbert, 127 Ledstone Road. I abut it to the, out. So those are my power lines that go through. And I also have a deeded footpath that I have concerns with. Through that property.
Okay.
mean, there's some of my concerns.
Okay.
How many stories?
It'll be 3 in the back. And
So it's
2 in
just
the
gonna
front.
block my view, that's all.
I don't see where you're located. Oh, on
I believe.
10
yeah.
to the north? Yeah, to the north, okay. The lake doesn't go by there?
Yeah, it does.
Or, okay. All right, and then where is the footpath located?
It doesn't say specifically on the deed.
Okay. Where does the footpath go?
It's wherever you walk. So this is Ledgestone Road, right? This is, I have a quarter-mile right-of-way that goes down to my house. It's really steep. The person who owned this property owned all of this property. The person who owned my property owned all the property. I think he got sick of having his relatives coming over and camping there, so he sold it to this guy, Keystone. But, so these guys bought it out. But always in the wintertime, and then there's a storm, it was always easy to be able to park down there. You walk up, I can walk up to my house. If I have a storm of any kind of significance, there's no way I can get to my property.
Okay. Okay.
And that's my concern.
Okay. So, not so much a conservation issue, but I think you should note, I'm sure in your deed referencing, that the owners are aware of a footpath, a deeded footpath, right, when they purchased it, so.
It's mine.
Anyone else in the audience have any questions or concerns regarding this hearing?
And there's no out as far as blocking my view, right?
I unfortunately, no, and I don't know where your house is, and I can't really speak to the view part, because,
And also during construction, my wife homeschools, so that's probably more trouble.
there'll be required time of day, which is probably the homeschooling day time, but
Whatever.
hopefully it'll only take a couple months. And I'm not sure about the view part still. So you could probably see the elevations and see what that's gonna look like. But, could be a ZBA. I know they're going to ZBA, so you could address it there. That'd be a more appropriate board.
Okay.
And then talk with the consultant and sort it out. Thank you for coming in. Okay, board, anything else?
Can we schedule a site walk?
Is there a floodplain?
Do you have any floodplain? Okay, no.
It's big. This flood.
Okay.
Floodplain just looks like it.
Okay.
That was my comment. You're about to get the wall, right?
A big old rock wall.
Yeah, I don't know. We've been on
Okay,
I guess I'll deal with that at ZBA.
I don't have my mallet here. Is that what that's called? Mark, did you have something?
Can we schedule a site walk?
Yes. So everything's flagged. Driveway is going to be at the same location as the existing driveway, right?
Shape changes. I mean, I can be there and walk you through the whole thing.
Okay,
That'd be probably the easiest.
okay, all right. Steve, do you have availability?
After 5 and weekends.
Okay. Mark, what are you thinking?
We usually do them on Saturday mornings or Saturday midday. That would be fine.
Okay. Katie Grace?
Yeah, are we looking at this coming Saturday, the 22nd?
Yep.
I could do it.
Okay, do you want to do 10 a.m.?
Yeah, 10 a.m. should be okay.
Okay, all right, is that good for you? Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
That'll work.
so we'll meet down there. And is that it? No one else online? Comments or questions? Seeing none. Okay, Okay, I will entertain a motion to continue this public hearing to August 7th at 7 PM.
Thank you.
Do I? Motion made by Mark,
Second.
second by Eric. All those in favor?
Eric, side?
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangumai.
Katie Dudley, aye.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next,
Continue to when?
public hearing, August 7th. Notice of intent, 58 Cottage Colony. Legal notice for public hearing pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, Mass Wetlands Protection Act, Town of Douglas Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on July 17th at 7 PM for a notice of intent filed by Norma Aldrich located at 58 Cottage Colony Drive for work to be done pursuant to the Town of Douglas Wetland Bylaw, Wetland Protection Act, Mass General Law, 131, Section 40. The proposed work involves proposed construction of a wastewater tight tank and a small attached addition for an existing cottage. Construction activities are within 100 foot of Whitens Reservoir. Public participation will be available by attending the meeting at the Town of Douglas Municipal Center located at 29 Depot Street or pursuant to Governor's March 29th, 2023 order suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18. Public may participate in this meeting via remote participation. Website for the meeting will be provided on the conservation agenda posted on the town's website at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Copy of the notice of intent may be examined electronically by contacting the Conservation Commission, 508-476-4000, extension 205. Okay. Name and address, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Margaret Bacon, Civil Site Engineering, and I'm here representing Norma Aldrich for a proposed improvement to an existing cottage on Cottage Colony. Just to get your bearings, she's almost down to the end of Cottage Colony Road, and her house is on the lakeside. And because of the small size of the lots, and everybody's on wells and septics down there, we are proposing a tight tank in the front of the house, because that's really the only thing that we can fit. And then she would like to extend the foundation of this house by 10 feet, and then have a proposed deck beyond that. So here I have in yellow the existing cottage, which is about 20 by 22, which is fairly small. And then, but there's only one way she can extend, and that's towards Whitens Reservoir.
How come you didn't mention the new well?
Well, oh, yeah, that's right.
In the ad.
That's correct.
Yeah, or in the ad.
So yeah, she has an existing well that's in the
basement.
The basement now that's not being used. It shouldn't be used because right next to it is the old cesspool. So she'd really like to get that well in as soon as she can.
And we have no distances for closest.
I do. I heard you say that. I have it right here. 30
Oh, you do? Okay. So the proposed deck has pilings. What are we doing for the proposed deck footings?
I would imagine they'd be concrete tubes.
Okay. And any reason for that well location versus like on the side of the property?
Well, we have a cesspool up here, we have a cesspool over here, so we just kind of, we have the tight tank here, so.
Is the well approved?
Yes. Well, I know the septic's approved, and I'm assuming, I haven't heard back from the well, so I'm assuming the well got approved also.
Okay, because you've got, either side has cesspools?
This size, yeah, cesspools on both sides, that's correct.
Okay, so we have the well radiuses, but we don't have the cesspool.
Well, I've got the well radius right here, the 100-foot well radius.
Yeah.
And then you see the cesspool over here, and you see the cesspool over here.
Yeah.
And you see my tight tank. So my 100-foot well radius is away from cesspool, tight tank. So it needs all those.
Yep, okay, got it. A lot of circles here. And what are you proposing for erosion controls?
Typical straw wattles.
It's flat at this location?
It's
Right,
flat, it's all
yeah.
lawn.
Okay. Ark, anything? Mark?
What's the foundation?
It's an existing foundation here, the stone, the old.
And then the proposed foundation?
Oh, the proposed over here would be concrete.
And
So that's excavated?
Yes.
How will they get to that? And
The only one way they can get to it is on this side. And these two trees here, they're stumps.
so is there, so it's not a slab, it's going to be a dug foundation?
I would imagine with footings, correct.
So it's just gonna be 4 foot? Or are you?
Yeah, 4 foot.
Yeah, so it's just gonna be frost protected?
Correct.
Addition, not a full basement?
No, you,
Is that shown on here, what that is?
No.
you wouldn't want to put a, so this basement here, it's a walkout in the back, so that the basement's, you know, at grade.
What do you mean by that?
This existing basement, there is a full foundation actually in this house, but it's the floor of the basement's at grade. It's a walk in. You walk right into the cellar. So yeah, so this would be
Should be
full
slab.
foundation.
Steve, do you have some photos? Why wouldn't they do just a footing? Like, why don't they do slab on grade and then they're walking into the new addition? No? Am I
I would
confused?
imagine they want this up at the same deck, same level as the first floor of this house.
Okay. Well, just, do you have plans? Do you have any plans? No?
I don't think I have the plans with me. I don't think so.
Maybe you can just double check, because that would, if they're walking into the basement right now, why would there be a foundation? It would be all knee wall. Could you zoom in or make the screen bigger?
Yeah, so they're walking into the basement. Yeah, so to get up to the first floor, so she has one, floor living, that's what she's looking for. She's an elderly woman and she'd like to have everything on one floor.
Okay, so the deck and the addition are going to be up in the air?
Correct.
They're going to be first floor elevation?
Correct.
Okay.
The deck as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Katie Grace, any comments, questions?
Yeah, I was following the conversation with regards to the basement. So you're gonna take down the existing foundation and put the first level somewhere in between the level of the basement and the first floor?
No. The existing foundations staying put. We're just adding on to it, so that the top of the concrete's at the same elevation as that existing stone foundation. They're just adding on.
Okay, so it will continue to have a cellar, if you will?
Correct, that's correct.
Oh, okay. No, thank you, I appreciate it. And then you were talking about the tight tank has to go in between the house and the water. Are you gonna have to remove either of those two trees that we are seeing in the picture?
No, the tight tank's gonna go up in between the house and the roadway. It's gonna be in front of the house.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yep.
And then are you planning on stairs off the deck? Or is it just going to be railing all the way around?
I'm gonna say, I would imagine she'd want stairs down there, but
I would think, but you'd have to come back.
Show it, though.
that's correct.
So you better,
That's,
you know, and I would say you need to go off the side, not off the back. I'm not going to approve going off the back.
If it's available. Accessing the backyard.
Can you add a 25-foot buffer line to this plan?
Yep. Now, can we, well, once you're done with your comments,
Is there any work within the 25-foot buffer?
I would say, here's
The well's pretty close. You said 30 for the deck, so yeah, the well's in the 25.
Yeah, right at the 25, actually. I could have, no, I don't know, if I, right there, I see, I'm just outside. 25 foot's right about here. I'm to the well just outside. I do have a little wiggle room where I could move it up a little more.
Just seems like it's killing the backyard, the little bit that they have with a well and smack in the middle.
Can the deck be any narrower and wider so that it's the same area but doesn't extend as close to the pond?
I'd have to ask them.
It's only 10 feet.
Yeah.
You can't put a table with chairs on either side in 10 feet and get up and down.
I've done that before, I wouldn't know.
Okay, so I think those are the minor issues, a couple more tweaks. Anyone in the audience have any questions or concerns regarding this public hearing? Oh. Anyone online? Katie Grace? No? You don't have to unmute if you don't have any questions. Okay.
I can unmute myself to tell you that I have no additional comments.
Okay, very good. Love your speaker tonight. It's working. Your microphone.
It's the same one from the last meeting, so I don't know why it works, but I'm glad it does.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Any comments back from DEP yet? No, you don't have a number? Oh, you do have a number.
They didn't have any comments. And
Okay.
One thing I would like to ask if we could do this, since the comments that you have are kind of on the minor. If I submit a revised plan, I'll put the stairway on the side, because I would imagine they will want stairs. I'll tweak the well a little, add the 25-foot zone, but if we could permit this project tonight so she could start with the well. Because she doesn't have any water now. You can't use this well.
Since when?
She'd really like to get, yes, since when?
Since when did she not have water?
It's been well, she's just stopped using it. She's here now in the summertime, so, but like I say, you have the cesspool right here and the well, so she really would like to get going with the well. Now, this project, just like the other one before, because it's pre-existing non-conforming, has to go before zoning.
Even worse.
But it's the well that we'd like to get going on before anything else, so she can have fresh water.
Let me think about that.
Permit's not ready to be typed anyways.
If we were
I
meeting
don't know.
once a month, I'd say I'd give it more thought.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're meeting in 7.
Well, yeah, we can't really half permit things, can we?
Contingent upon revised plans over just what I said.
Well, it's not signed. The order's not ready.
Yeah, so you, within the 2 weeks.
Okay, so if I come back in 2 weeks, then I'll make these.
I can have the
These
order ready.
changes?
I can have the
Sure.
order ready to be signed if the commission wants.
Yeah, yeah. And I think you get on the list. I mean, the well company's not gonna go
Sure,
there
yeah,
tomorrow,
no,
right?
That'll work.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna, the well part's definitely gonna be approved. She needs a well, so.
All right, so I'm gonna revise the plan, put stairways, 25-foot buffer, and try to move that well a little more.
And when's your ZBA meeting?
We just found out we just got the denial letter from the building inspector. So it's
Okay.
gonna be a little while.
Okay, so we typically go after them, I think, right, historically?
You do. Last board to send issue a permit.
Yeah.
If they have changes.
Okay, so we'll have to get there when we get there, because we're typically, in case the ZBA has changes, we're usually last, after everybody else
Right.
approves.
So what can we do about the well? Is there any way we can somehow,
Probably, well,
Was there any
I mean, an
emergency
RDA could just authorize it. You didn't even include it in your advertisement. Or extra utilities.
septic repairs and things like that, many times.
I don't know, I'll have to see if potable water, there's an exemption. I'd have to look, and we'll let you know.
Okay,
But-
so I'll be coming back in 2 weeks with a
Yes.
revised plan.
And we'll have an answer for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, thank you.
All right,
So
thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to continue this public hearing to August 7th at 7 PM.
So moved.
Motion made by Mark, second by Mike. All those in favor?
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangumai.
Katie Dudley, aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, public hearing, amended order of conditions, 175 Southwest Main Street.
Good evening, my name is Byron Andrews, I'm representing Lloyd Warren.
1 second, I'm just gonna read the notice.
Okay.
I get it, it's gonna take me a little bit because it's too small, it's very small. Pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, the Town of Douglas Conservation Commission will hold the public hearing on July 17, 2023 at 7 PM for an amended order of conditions filed by Lloyd Moran located at 175 Southwest Main Street for work to be done pursuant to the Town of Douglas Wetland Bylaw and the Wetland Protection Act, Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40. The proposed work involves an amended order of conditions in response to comments from the building department. The conservation plan previously submitted was revised to raise the elevation of the foundation of the building above the flood elevation. This requires more filling of the flood zone than previously approved. Public participation will be available by attending the meeting at the Town of Douglas Municipal Center located at 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. Are pursuant to Governor Baker's June 16, 2021 order suspending certain provisions of open meeting law. General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18. The public may participate in this meeting via remote participation. A website for the meeting will be provided by on the conservation agenda posted on the town's website at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Copies may be examined electronically 508-476, 4000, extension 20577. Okay. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Byron Andrews. I'm Lloyd Moore tonight. If you recall, we have a notice of intent. We have an order of conditions for Mr. Moran to raise the foundation under his house and add a garage. He's also adding a garage here as well. After we secured the certificate of compliance, the order of conditions, the building inspector had some concerns about the location of the house being in the flood zone, and that the foundation would be in the flood zone, which could cause some structural issues. So in order to reduce that issue, we are proposing to construct a retaining wall around the house with earth filled in around it. Obviously, that means we are filling in more of the flood area. If you recall, the way we had calculated it previously was we did a calculation of how much of the flood area had been removed for the construction of the house. The number we had calculated wasn't the entire area that had been altered. It was enough area so that we knew that our changes were less than what had been altered. So in order to accommodate for this additional area, showing we did some calculations and part of the rest of the area that had been excavated for the house construction, which I've highlighted in yellow. So the area in yellow is slightly larger than the area in green that we filling in. So there would be no net increase in, there would be no net decrease in the flood storage area compared to the site previous to the original construction.
So what is the amendment?
The amendment would be to approve this conservation plan showing the retaining wall.
Showing the retaining wall. There's no net increase. But you said in the advertisement, it was, what did you say? More filling in the flood zone than previously approved.
Yeah. So just to clarify, I'm trying to choose my words carefully.
Okay. Okay.
There's no net increase compared to before the house was built, which was our position for the other for the other
approval.
And the other approval that we had, and we just did some additional calculation of some of the other area that had been removed, using that as compensation for the area that we removed. So there is more fill compared to the previous order of conditions, but still less than before the house was built.
Okay, so the green triangle, you're removing?
So the green triangle is the area that we're using for our calculations that was removed for the construction of the original house.
Historical construction.
Historical, yeah, so that's the historical.
That's allowed? That's allowed to use that?
Well, we did that last time.
Yeah, is it allowed?
I would assume so.
Okay.
That was approved previously.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this a better design than the last time?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's
How so?
Design, construct, in terms of construction, and we're preserving the stand of pines that both the commission and the owner are anxious to preserve.
So the last amended plan versus this amended plan, how is this one better?
This one is better because the foundation of the house will be outside the flood zone.
Steve? No comment, okay. Eric? Mike? Mark?
I thought the last plan had the retaining wall around the foundation.
We did come earlier with the plan with the retaining wall around the foundation, but if you recall, there was a drafting error that showed the erosion control along the boundary line. So we moved back to, this is the position it was that when the last plan was approved.
I'm still lost then.
So
The retaining wall that's around the house, was that on the last plan that was approved?
it was not on the last plan that was approved. We came to the commission a few months ago, basically with this plan, but as I think Tracy pointed out, the erosion control barrier that we show here it was actually the erosion control barrier that was originally shown on the plan from like 2020.
Right.
It was a drafting.
Now I
So we
get it.
corrected that.
All right. Yes, so it's been corrected. All right. I'm fine with it.
So it's an improvement from the last plan we've approved. Katie Grace?
Sorry if we already asked, did we change the amount of non-pervious surfaces within the jurisdictional area?
I mean, the top course of the retaining wall would be impervious. That would be the only increase. I'm not sure what that area would be. It would be minor.
So yeah, I don't know that that's a relevant amount of space because you need the retaining wall, so. Yeah, no, that's fine. Thank you.
One request.
Yes.
He submitted a new Form 3 with all the updated floodplain and,
The application?
what's that?
The page in the application?
Yeah, is anything changing? Because when we issue the order
Oh.
of conditions, is any of the resource area disturbance changing? Amount of floodplain or land on a water body or?
Oh, yeah, we need a form and we just write amended.
Right, but we didn't get an application.
Why not?
We just wrote I don't see it in the file.
No, you need an NOI.
Let me check. I thought we had one.
Of course, they would.
Brought a copy of everything with me.
Because they'll send it to the DEP and they're going to want to make sure that that's all.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we can't just accept a request letter. We have to have the whole
Let's say.
kit and caboodle. Well, he's looking. Anyone in the audience have any questions or concerns regarding this hearing? Nope.
I think you're correct. There is no Form 3, so we'll prepare for Form 3.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
If I
Slips right in.
Yeah. If I recall, I think the only discussion was the letter and the plan.
No, we want the full one, yeah.
And is that going to DEP too?
Yeah, yeah, goes to DP. Yeah, that's a whole, you had given us the process
Right.
before. Because he's sticking with the same number. So I think you
Put
just,
amended along the top. You write amended along the top.
yeah, but I think how does that work, the order?
You put it amended around the top of the Form 3.
But he's got the same exact number, though.
That's right, but
Yeah.
you put amended along the top.
Uh-huh.
Submit that to DEP and to us, and the order of conditions has a checkbox for amended approval.
Okay,
So all the, on that form, on the order of conditions forms, all the resource area
yeah, that needs to be filled in.
updated.
Yeah, so I don't know if we should wait for DEP's comments.
Well,
Before
maybe get a
closing.
letter from them to see if they don't have any.
Yeah, so unfortunately. So let's continue this. I'll entertain a motion to continue the public hearing to August 7th at 7 PM.
So moved.
Motion made by Mike,
Okay.
second by Eric. All those in favor?
Mike Greco, aye. Sorry.
Mark Mangum, aye.
KG Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you very much. Just let us know, hopefully DEP can just get back to you with no comment, but I know that they had comments the last time, right? So, okay. All right. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, Mass Wetlands Protection Act, the Town of Douglas Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on July 17th, 2023 at 7 PM for a notice of intent filed by New Sherborne LLC located at Lot 1, 273 Southeast Main Street for work to be done pursuant to the Town of Douglas Wetland Bylaw and the Wetland Protection Act, Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40. The proposed work involves construction of a single-family dwelling with private sewerage disposal and private well with associated earthwork, driveway, landscaping, utilities within the 200-foot perennial stream front. Public participation will be available by attending the meeting at the Town of Douglas Municipal Center located at 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. Pursuant to Governor Baker's June 16, 2021 order suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18. The public may participate in this meeting via remote participation. A website for the meeting will be provided on the conservation agenda posted on the town's website at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Copies of the request for amending may be examined electronically by contacting the Conservation Commission, February 476-4000, extension 205. Okay, welcome.
Thank you. Again, Byron Andrews, representing Sherborne LLC. What we are proposing here, this is Lot 1 on Southeast Main Street. We have 3 lots tonight, 1, 2, and 3. And I prepared a highlighted copy of the plan because there's a lot of lines going across this and it gets a little confusing. So just to make it clear what we are requesting on Lot 1. On Lot 1, we were able to keep all the work on the site outside the wetland buffers. However, there is a perennial stream behind the lot, Green Brook, and some of the work here would occur within 200-foot buffer of Green Brook. All the work is outside the 100-foot buffer. It's in the 200-foot buffer, and I've outlined it, I've highlighted it in yellow. The closest approach of the work in the river buffer is 124 feet from the bank. The area of disturbance of Lot 1 is 9.8% of the area in the buffer, so we're under the 10% minimum. All the work is occurring outside the 100-foot buffer. And the plan has been approved by the Board of Health.
Okay, why aren't you snuggling up to the building setback, the front?
We tried to keep it, as far from any jurisdictional areas as practical.
Yeah, I see the 50-foot, so you could gain probably another 25 feet. No, not 25.
Yeah, 15 or
20 feet. So I'm just wondering if there's a reason, because the proposed well is on that side too. No reason?
No, the septic system will have to go here because the testing was here. The house location, Frank, if you have any comments on the house location on Lot 1?
No.
So if it's okay development-wise, we could move the house up a little bit. Shouldn't affect the septic at all.
Yeah, you can still catch it even if you, I'm just looking at the grading also.
Although the...
Would it be more grading?
Don't believe so.
534, 538, so it's going, yeah, so maybe less grading,
Maybe moved up like 10 feet.
yeah.
Well,
What?
well, just a general comment, I know, well, I can wait till you're done.
No, oh, go ahead.
Well, the plan itself, it's, one, we got a proposal from Ecotech to do the evaluation on the resource areas on all 3 lots. Two, I don't see, the plans itself are blown up too much. You can't see any of the flaggings associated with the buffer zone or the entire riverfront. And I don't see any flagging for bank. So if there's more detailed plans that we can send to, and we can send you the proposal for each if the commission votes. We got a separate resource area delineation proposal from them for each individual lot to review. And if you had one plan that showed them all, if it's contiguous, that would probably help too. And given its riverfront area and they're real close to the 10%, the calculation of the flagging of the riverfront bank flags would be important. I don't see it on the report. I did ask for the wetland delineation report. It just shows BVW forms. I don't know if there's an actual report from a wetland scientist for the lots.
I think he prepared the forms, but I don't know if he has a separate report. So when you say the calculations for the riverfront, I'm sorry, I'm not quite following.
Well, you have riverfront area?
You've got, yeah, the allowed is
Well, that's based on,
12,144.
that's based on the bank
10%.
flag.
The bank flag, yeah.
Right, so I would want to make sure the bank flagging is accurate, so the location of the river is confirmed.
Okay, so what, you mean like to have Ecotech review that?
Well, yeah, we got a proposal from them to review the resource areas, the bank flags, all the resource areas associated with each lot.
Right. Okay.
And if you had more of a detailed wetland delineation report, we could send them, that'd be great. If not,
Yeah, so for the riverfront area, the bank. So the data sheet for the bank.
Okay.
and the BBW.
Yeah, I see some flags on here.
Yeah, the
Either
flags
H163 or
Yeah, the symbols are small.
HI63.
I mean, this is the 20 scale that we usually use for septic designs. I mean, we can make it a smaller scale if you see more data.
Well, you can just see them, I can't, usually you get some flagging, the flagging's off the page, right, associated with the
riverfront.
And the 100-foot buffer.
No, actually, these are the flags right here.
So the green has has 3 flags.
Yeah.
You can see
Is
it.
there more than, I'm sure there's more than 3 flags, right?
Yeah, but not on the,
We flag the entire site.
but not on the property.
Yeah, it's all.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Because the small one has that
You have
right
some
side.
up here too, right?
The right side, yeah.
Yes.
Where are those flags on the plan?
Well, they were out of view.
Well, we'd like to see them on the plan.
Okay, all right.
Maybe so a 24 by 36
Someday you
for
can see-
each
we
for
can
each
see-
lot,
We can see the delineation.
and maybe a 24 by 36 with the 3 lots on it.
Okay.
Thank you. Because the well is actually, the well's, so if that wetland goes up, oh, it's outside the 100 then, but I just don't know for sure. Yeah, so if I look on the little box, yeah, so that wetland is all the way to the right.
Yeah, it kind of diagonals toward the street and there's a culvert.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Do you have the riverfront area calculations on the plan itself?
I don't think we have it on the plan, but we have it on the application.
Yeah, it'd be good to have it on the plan.
Well, I've got a calculation. Proposed impact is 11,859, and allowed is the 12,144. So if the house slides up, you're outside even more.
Is there clearing needed for this project?
Yeah, this is all woods right now.
So he's
Can
got
you
the tree.
indicate that on the plan, that is woods, and that's a proposed tree line along the edge of the limit of work? Oh, I do see an existing tree line on here.
Yep, so the proposed, I think.
So everything within the limit of work is being cleared?
Yes. I would presume so. It's not a very large work anyway because of the nature of the site.
Mm-hmm. Katie Grace, any comments or questions?
None at this time.
Okay, thank you. Anyone in the audience have any questions or concerns regarding this hearing?
Yes, I do.
Name and address, please.
My name is Ken Temple. I live at 270 Southeast Main. And what I'm concerned about is there's a culvert just south of Pine and Linden that runs through the corner of my property. And not often, but sometimes that culvert gets backed up and the road gets flooded. And it's actually a river. The road turns into a river. Not very deep, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And in the wintertime, it can become a sheet of ice.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that needs to be addressed or not.
Where's the proximity of the culvert to this lot?
That may be the culvert here. I don't know if.
Yeah, you mentioned, yeah.
Yeah, there might be another one closer to Pine. I'm not sure, but there is one like right about here.
I think that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, and that's almost sounds like.
It actually runs through the corner of my property.
Yeah. That sounds like almost like the DPW. So.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but it can be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, making the highway department aware of, any clogging, or if there's a significant rainstorm coming, maybe giving them a call so they have it on their list.
Well, they're aware of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay,
Down there, quite often.
okay. What's clogging it? Is there
Oh,
debris?
it's not big enough.
Oh. Okay. Okay, and Brian, you're gonna keep all your water on your property, right?
Yes.
Not in the road, so,
Yeah, nothing to do.
okay. So this development should not impact that issue that's existing with any increase.
As long as the wetlands are not impacted.
Yeah, he's not touching them. He's outside of the bordering vegetated wetland. It's just the riverfront area is what he's within now, which is 200 feet from the bank that we need confirmed. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, name and address?
Thanks, Madam Chair. My name is Justin Picciarello. I live on Slater Street in Attleboro, Mass. I own property to the west and south of this location. Under consideration for this hearing, is it just lot 1? Are we considering 2 and 3 in addition?
After this hearing, so they're separate hearings.
I'm glad to hear that the impacts on this particular site would be outside of the wetland area, but I do want to voice, some concern about the overall scope of this and subsequent hearings. My property and property of my neighbors are all kind of downhill, down gradient from this location. And there is a substantial amount of water that comes across Southeast Main and it flows down through our properties. And so I just would just ask that the commission take, special note of any additional impact in terms of runoff from these sites that could come down to our locations. Historically, our area dried up quite a bit in the summertime, and now we're seeing more and more where it's just, permanently wet. And so I think any additional contribution, from cuttings or from stormwater that's not being managed will be affecting our parcels. The other thing I just want to kind of bring up in making these hearings about individual lots, I do have a little bit of concern in terms of the format of how these are being communicated. The applicant owns a significant amount of land and a significant amount of road frontage, and I believe that there will be more building that will be happening in the future beyond the scope of this particular discussion. So I don't know if there's a way to kind of tie that in so that both the public and the commission can consider the impacts of the overall scope of work, if that's a possibility.
Thank you. So we have a single-family house lot in front of us. That's what we have to act on. I understand your concern about the global picture of development in this area. So we have to take it by case. So that's all I can say about that right now. That every lot will be treated like a single-family house lot. Commercial developments are a different story. You can't segment them to avoid certain requirements, but these are single-family homes. So I think for right now, we're just gonna make sure that the runoff is staying on the site, it's mitigated at the location, and it's as far away from the resource areas as it can get. So for now, so this is lot 1. But I think there's some existing roadway improvements that could happen in that area to make sure that the flooding doesn't happen, especially when there's a brand-new person that's living in this home and then they try to get out of their driveway and they can't because it's flooded. So that's not fun either. So we'll have to take a look at that culvert as the traffic increases on this roadway. Anyone else? Steve?
Well, just if you want to approve the art's proposal.
Okay, does the applicant have a copy of it? Okay, and,
Free, so it's paid by the applicant under the division.
so do you need to have that approved by your client?
Oh, yeah. So I'll present this to my client.
Okay. So as long as it's approved, I'll entertain a motion to approve Ecotex Consulting proposal of $650 for lot number 1.
So moved.
Motion made by Mark. Second by Eric. All those in favor? All those in favor.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangum, aye.
KG Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions, board, before we move on? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to continue the public hearing to August 7th at 7 PM. Motion made by Eric, second by Mike. All those in favor?
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangum, aye.
KG Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you very much. Next item, notice of intent, 279 Southeast Main Street, Lot 2. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, Town of Douglas will hold a public hearing on July 17th at 7 PM for Notice of intent filed by New Sherborne LLC located at Lot 2, 279 Southeast Main Street for work to be done pursuant to the Town of Douglas Wetland Bylaw and the Wetland Protection Act, Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40. The work proposed involves the construction of a single-family dwelling, private sewerage disposal system, and private well with associated earthwork, driveway, landscaping, and utilities within the 100-foot buffer zone. Public participation will be available by attending the meeting at the Town of Douglas Municipal Center, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. Pursuant to Governor Baker's June 16, 2021 order suspending certain provisions of Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18. The public may participate in this meeting via remote participation. Website for the meeting will be provided on the conservation agenda posted on the town's website at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Copies of the request for amending may be examined electronically. That was your carryover from the last amended notice. 508-476-4000, extension 205. Okay. Welcome. Name and address, please.
Byron Andrews, representing New Sherborne Farms LLC, Lot 2, on Southeast Main Street. We are proposing one-family house, septic system, driveway. So this lot is, kind of have the opposite consideration from Lot 1, which is far enough away from the riverfront that that's not an issue. But it is, there will require some work. No work is going on in the 50-foot buffer, it's all outside the 50-foot buffer, it's not going to be in the 50-foot buffer. And I'm not sure if I marked those correctly, because I mismarked the one I have with me. Because I have it outlined right to here, but actually the area that would be limited for it is here, so it's not quite as large as we marked out here.
Okay, so I'll ask again, as far as moving it towards the front, if that saves anything orientation wise.
May not actually, because the septic system has to go where it is. And I was just thinking of it in anticipation of your question. And if we move the house up here, that might bring the grading out to here. So it actually might
extend the grading.
Yeah, it might extend the grading.
So where's the 25?
It's not shown on here.
So, oh, okay. So we've got the 50 and then the 100, okay.
Yeah, no work is going on any closer than the 50.
Okay. Same thing again, board, we have a proposal from Ecotech. Can I get a motion to approve that proposal for Lot 2?
So moved.
Motion made by Mark. Second by Mike. All those in favor?
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
KG Dudley, aye.
Okay. And then, I mean, I don't see where we can move too much with this one. Katie Grace, any comments or questions?
No, none unique to this one, thank you.
Okay. Anyone in the audience, questions? Lot number 2. Yes?
Justin Picciarello again. Just, I didn't hear the number, but you said it's within the 50. Is there a replication area involved in this, on this lot?
No, none of the wetlands are being disturbed.
Okay. Oh, it's outside.
So all activity is going to be outside the 50-foot buffer from the wetland and 100% outside of the riverfront area.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Steve?
I assume this is a fully wooded site?
All three lots are fully wooded.
Is there any tree planting proposed to compensate for those removed from the 50 to 100 foot buffer area?
No, we're not proposing.
Might need to do some anti-creep, though. But we usually do that, what, 25?
Can you tighten up the limit of work line behind the proposed septic tank where there's that like triangular area that points down?
Yeah, like right here, you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, we could tighten that up a little bit. Doesn't seem to really have any.
I think it was just going along the 50.
And then what about near the proposed well to the, I'm not seeing a north arrow on here. Is north straight up and down? So it's to the east of the proposed well. Doesn't look like there's any grading, but there is some clearing proposed.
Well, that well is outside the 100.
The well is, I understand, yeah. But the limit of work line is 20 or 30 feet to the right of the well.
I mean, I think our preference would be not to move that in, just because, we would like the people to have, some lawn area.
Does the driveway go towards, is all the runoff from the driveway dumping into the southeast main?
Yes.
The driveway is.
532.
Was that a concern for icing and what the neighbor said about?
I mean, we can maybe have a little area here where it kind of flattens out so it doesn't run out.
Yeah, we need to keep all the water on the site. Catch, Steve.
Anything, all of them do that?
No, the first one, the water comes back towards the house.
Yeah.
I did look at
The
that.
next two. And then you don't know where the utility poles are, do you?
They should show on here, probably just not any in front of the lot.
There's a benchmark utility pole
Yeah.
in the north.
As long as they're not, because sometimes if it's south, sometimes they'll cut through the,
Wetland.
they'll cut through the buffer zone in the wetland, because that's the angle to the house,
Oh, yeah. Well,
Looks like they're gonna be hitting the
coming
house
from,
in
coming
that
from
corner.
north.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, any other questions? I'll entertain a motion to continue the public hearing to August 7th at 7 PM.
So moved.
Motion made by Mark,
Second.
second by Mike. All those in favor?
Eric Garstein.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangumai.
Katie Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
And I'll add to Mark's point that I too would like to see either tree plantings to kind of replace some of the tree removal that's occurred, or a limitation, kind of taking in the amount of cleared area and reduction in the lawn space.
Okay, next is gonna be 283 Southeast Main Street. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, the Town of Douglas Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on July 17th, 2023, at 7 PM for a notice of intent filed by New Sherburne LLC located at Lot 3, 283 Southeast Main Street for work to be done pursuant to Town of Douglas bylaw and the Wetland Protection Act, Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40. The proposed work involves the construction of a single-family dwelling with private sewerage disposal system and private well with associated earthwork, driveway, landscaping, and utilities within the 100-foot buffer zone. Public participation will be available by attending the meeting at the Town of Douglas Municipal Center located at Depot Street, or pursuant to Governor Baker's June 16, 2021 order suspending certain provisions of open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 38, Section 18, the public may participate in this meeting via remote participation. A website for the meeting will be provided on the conservation agenda posted on the town's website. Copies may be examined electronically by contacting Conservation Commission 508-476-4000, extension 205. Okay, welcome, name and address.
Byron Andrews representing Sherburne LLC. This is Lot 3. This lot, as you can see, is kind of a tricky one to deal with. Wetlands on 3 sides, which restricts the area that we can work in. We have been able to keep the house and the septic system outside the 50 foot. But there is work that will go on between the 50 foot and the wetland. The closest, most of the work is going to be 25 feet or more away from the wetlands, with the exception of some of the work in the driveway, which is going to be a little bit closer. The closest point is about 12, the limit of work is 12 feet from the wetland. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there is something in town regulations that allows work closer to the wetland for driveways particularly, which is why we have it closer in this case, but not so much in the other areas.
Talking about our local bylaw. And what's your erosion control planned? I don't see you have your little detail on any of the plans either.
Oh, the ones that I just gave you don't have the erosion control detail, but I did.
Because we're gonna.
Here that
oh, okay.
Erosion control.
Is that second page of every plan?
Second page of every plan shows the erosion control.
Just stake straw wattles? So the 10-foot's gonna need some silt fence. So this one especially, my opinion. So those, I would just run, we got 20 feet. Is this septic approved? Yeah, okay. Yeah, the prints are a little tough to read. These were scans and then copies.
I forgot to ask you on the last plan, so I'll ask you on this plan. Is there a swale along the edge of the street, and therefore are you proposing to have a pipe under the driveway where those swales are, if they're there? You know?
Don't believe there's a swale on that side of the road.
Well, this one has is that 523 and then the driveway is 524?
Yes.
So there's a spot grade.
Uphill into the lot.
Okay. It's 524 in the street. So that's why you're asking. That's a foot difference between the center of the road and...
Yeah, I mean, the road is crowned, it looks like, based on that contour, so. And I'm seeing a little marking along the edge of the tree line that looks like it might be but it's really faint, so I really can't tell.
I think the low point in the driveway here, spot grade on it would be 523.8. So it dips down to there and then comes back up.
Oh, 520, you can see .8?
Yeah, I can see it on this one.
Okay,
You probably can't read it on that one.
no. Okay, again, one more, our consultant, can I entertain a motion to approve his proposal for $650 for review of this lot?
So moved.
Motion made by Mark,
Second.
second by Mike, all those in favor?
I have a comment. I know this is probably a $5 I would just add no decks on any of them. No decks?
No stairs? We gotta do stairs too. Stairs?
I mean, if you're gonna have them, I'd put them in. Right, no decks or...
Something to ask, yeah.
Okay. Or sheds?
Well, no, I don't think we have any sheds proposed, certainly not.
Okay.
Okay, we're just in the middle of the vote for the proposal. Mark? Aye?
Yep, aye.
Katie Grace?
KG Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so let's check on the decks and stairs. So sets of stairs, I don't know how you're getting out of the house. Front stairs, back stairs. Those are gonna count. You have, where is, oh, looked like a deck for a second, but it was just 2 lines with a tank, septic tank on the first one.
Okay, we'll check on those. Any steps or any other?
Yeah, the more stuff to include, so they don't have to come back. I mean, this one is, the one we're talking about, you're gonna have every single thing, even a front set of stairs you wanna show, because you're within,
We should add a
Can't tell.
25-foot buffer line to this plan.
anyone in the audience have any questions or concerns regarding this hearing? No, being none, okay. Katie Grace, are you all set? I'll entertain a
Yeah, I have no comments.
Okay, I'll entertain a oh, yes, sir?
So he mentioned that regulation for the driveway.
Yep.
12 feet.
Yep.
Can we confirm that?
The local bylaw
Local bylaw?
is 10 feet for driveways. I think you, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It's in the
that's-
regulations, not the bylaw.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I think it's in the regulations.
Yeah, we can confirm that, yep. Is that it? Okay, all right. I will entertain a motion to continue the public hearing to August 7th at 7 PM.
So moved.
Motion made by Mike,
Second.
second by Eric. All those in favor?
Eric Harris, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangum, aye.
So
KG Dudley, aye.
Thank you very
as
much.
soon as we get approval from your client and a check sent, then we'll send it to, we'll let Ecotech know that it start.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk to them tomorrow.
Thank you. Okay, back to, on updates, 115 Shore Road culvert replacement update. So we do have the emergency certificate form that we can sign from our council. We're gonna do that tonight. And then also, I missed the very first one, which was reorganization. So I was newly minted for an additional 3 years, I think. So what do we want to do for chair? I'll open nominations, and then I'll open nominations for vice chair.
Nominate Tracy Sharkey for chair.
Motion made,
Second.
and Mike second. Any more nominations? No? Okay. All those in favor?
Eric Harris, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangum, aye.
Just learning. Okay.
KG Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you.
Last meeting.
And then vice chair.
I nominate Katie Grace Dudley for vice chair.
Okay, nomination, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Mike second. Any other nominations? Oh, okay. I will, okay, motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
Eric Curtis, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangum,
Katie Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Commission. And then we'll sign the emergency order also. Steve, do we have anything else?
No, I'm good.
Oh, no, aren't you Frank?
Yes.
Or did you change your name to Steve? Steve, do we have anything else?
Oh, I thought you were looking at me.
No, I was looking at him. Okay, Justin, anything? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made by Mark, seconded by Eric. All those in favor?
Eric Curtis, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Mark Mangum,
Katie Dudley, aye.
Okay, thank you very much.